We got married
Sorry about
because
that.
it was a contract of essence.
Was. Anyway.
That's okay. Deep dive into the relationship.
Save that for the Patreon.
When we last left the Bums of Greenest, you had finally reached your quarry deep within the temple of the Stickal
Forgot
tribe.
we were playing.
The group of
Yeah, we're not just drinking
Yuan-Ti
anything, girls.
had made their home within the rock and stone behind the tomb of Diderius after discovering the power held within the divination pool that Diderius built his residence around.
Oh wait, people are saying no volume, and then it got better.
I didn't have my... I didn't...
Okay,
I had not turned on them.
I got you.
However... Oh wait, nope. Making your way past the lizard folk, slaves, and Yuan-Ti tribesfolk, you eventually found yourselves entering the large main chamber wherein the leader of the tribe and several inhabitants stood their ground. However, you immediately noticed that they held within their possession a certain dwarven individual that you had been tasked with locating. Varram the White, clothed in the signature purple robes of a Wyrmspeaker, lay unconscious within the grasp of the leader's snaking coils. Choosing words over swords, you were able to convince the High Priestess to relinquish the dwarf in exchange for no more bloodshed of her people within the home you invaded. And you were unable to get her to provide you with an easier way out, though, and so we rejoin you as you are busy tying the incapacitated Varram to the back of Micaiah, currently in Black Bear wild shape. So Micaiah,
Yes, ma'am.
locked in your Black Bear form, you have kind of an unwelcome moment to think about the situation that you are in. Your mind goes to the note that is in your backpack. And you think perhaps now that you have finally caught up with Varram, you'll have a moment to investigate the lead on that witch that Lissa had told you about. You had told Abaddon and Vidania pretty detailed accounting of what you needed to accomplish when you had your evening girls' night out, but you didn't really express quite as much to your male companions quite yet. And you think as you're standing there, you feel a little tug that, after this it might be the time. You're heading back to Waterdeep. You heard it's only a day's journey away. Maybe you'll get a break.
The idea that Micaiah thinks that we have cooties. No, I can't tell them my suit because they have cooties.
Girls rule and boys drool.
Yep.
So you feel this tug, or not, as you're securing the dwarf to Micaiah's back. You kind of grab his hair. He's totally unconscious. Grab his hair, lift up his face to look at it. You can see, being a dwarf, that he is much younger than you. Probably a good 100 years, if not more. Brown hair. There's only just a little bit of a hint of maybe some white coming through, like a random stray hair. And you hear this whisper in the back of your head as you're looking at his face that says, "Mercy." And then all of a sudden your eyes go white. And it flashes. There's a flash. And you are sitting outside in Veer Plains. Kind of at one of those open tavern type setups. Warm, it's sunny out. You can see your daughter sitting, or standing actually, about 20 or so feet away from you. She looks so young.
I was gonna say, is this now?
And you realize that this day has already happened. It was soon after you arrived at Veer Plains, after having been taken in by the Loafbeards. Dratha is kind of leaned up against a table, It's during this like outside festival. You can see people around. It's difficult for you to hear. It's almost like a muffled underwater kind of sound, and your focus is really like you're looking around, but you remember this day. You can see that she's clearly flirting with and being flirted with this male dwarf about her age, and looking at him, you're like, oh, that's Horner, her husband, soon to be husband in this flashback. It's been so long since you've seen him that you have forgotten what he looks like, but here you see smiling eyes. That's
Honestly,
what.
I forgot his name.
That's what you remembered mostly about him, was that he just had these very bright and smiling eyes. Dratha looks very happy. It's probably the first time you've seen her smile since you arrived at Spear Plains. And you couldn't help it in that moment as you were sitting there with your own drink, but like smile yourself as you're looking at her. Standing next to
This
Horner.
must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, right? Is he feeling
And-
okay that day? Can we do like a perception check
Just-
or like a medicine check or something? Like
baby.
retroactive?
He smiled
I
around.
like the
you
idea that
folks
he's like, he
before.
smiles, he's like, and then just instantly goes,
Yeah, but remember the speech he gave
he
was
just
trying to get her to
can't
live?
contain
I
it,
mean,
he
that
just
was
has
a
to
little
throw up.
weak. Yeah.
Sorry.
So you notice standing next to Horner is another dwarf. Dark hair, slightly less maintained, a little bit unkempt there. A familiar face. He has his arm draped over. Sorry for his armpit there, doing it. His arm draped over
That's probably the
Horner's shoulders, and he's just like kind of casually engaged. And you can't make out any particular words, but you can tell that people are speaking to each other. And he looks a little drunk, but that's the festival. And then you sit for a moment, you're looking, and you think, wait, that is Horner's brother. Older than Horner. What was his name? And then there's another whisper, and you hear Bromdren. And there's another flash. And you're back in the Council of Elders, the council chambers, and Dario, the slaver, is being dragged away by two dwarves that are flanking him on either side. And you see his head kind of roll back, and he looks very intentionally over at a dwarf. He locks eyes with someone for just a split second, and you turn to look at him over your daughter's head, and you see a dwarf, dark hair, looking hungover, red eyes just like wide staring at Dario as they drag him away out of the chamber to his death, inevitably. And you see that it is Bromdren. And then you blink, and you're standing back in the hallway just outside of the door, the double doors that had closed behind you, and you're tightening, holding onto Varram's head and looking at him.
Does he look like Bramdren?
No.
Like,
It's not
do
the
they?
same person.
I know. I mean, do they look like they could be related?
They are two completely different dwarves.
I don't know what that meant.
Everyone else, so except for you, Makai, because you were lost in thought. So Zan and Arik, you kind of noticed that Erd not stopped, and then his vision, like he got that clouded eye thing for only about 4 seconds. It was really quick, and then he just kind of blinked and came back.
Are you alright or not?
I'm fine.
You did that thing where you speaking with your god.
Not particularly. Just deep thoughts.
And as you are standing there, those doors behind you suddenly open again. You hear, and the doors open, and standing, you guys like kind of jump and get ready. Standing there in in the doors, opening them up, you can see one of the more feminine yuan tea. This one's wearing like light. It's really humid in this area, as you would imagine with snakes and whatnot. They're very comfortably dressed, except a little bit of armor where it's most important. But she's
Female wrestlers.
Does she have a bum or just
Ring
a tail?
girls.
no tail, just a bum.
Just
a
the-
bum.
just the bum.
Just a
Straight
bum. She slithers on her bum.
No, she walks with legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
she's
cool.
got
All right.
legs. Yeah, so she like steps forward. The doors open. You can see two more behind her. The three feminine, female yuan tea that were in the room are standing there, and they step forward with their hands up. And you can, behind them, several feet back, probably 40 feet or so, see the one with the half snake body and then the feminine upper torso. The leader with her snake hair, and she's wearing all kinds of jewelry, and she calls out to you in common and says, "They will lead you to the entrance to ensure you do not go back on our agreement." And they're just kind of standing there, and then they step forward very slowly with their hands up.
Arik will nod and call out, "As long as we are not attacked, there'll be no need for further violence."
The one standing there, she's just kind of swaying a little bit, looking at you, like her eyes narrowed. She doesn't say anything else. And then the three come forward. Where you're standing, there were an open doorway that leads into the prison, and then the other one leads down the hall where the wiggly hallway is. So they step forward, and then they kind of like push past you a little bit, and you can see one of them looks at another as the head of one of their companions is just kind of resting over in the corner, the hair all scraggly there, and then beyond that, the body of the Malison, that with the snake head and the human body, dead in the hallway. And one of them whispers to another one, and the other is like, and they begin heading down the hall, not in the direction of the prison, but the opposite way back to the snake-like hallway, and look at you and just...
Are they unarmed?
No. They are definitely armed.
I don't know how much good faith we had.
No. You
Not
can
much
see
after your
their-
attempted bribe.
They are armed enough. Like, each one of them has multiple daggers. There's, I believe, short swords, like, hanging on their sides. Like, they are hanging and not... They are not physically armed with them in their hands, but they have weapons.
Zane will keep back about 10 or 15 feet, just keeping an eye on them, just make sure they don't look like they're about to get
So
by.
one of them goes ahead, and the other two come back behind you. So the one in the front kind of like, come with me, and the other two are waiting on the side for you to go, and they're gonna escort you out.
Are they taking us a different way than we came?
No, they're taking you towards that wiggly hallway.
Okay.
I like the way you say wiggle.
Wiggly.
I don't know if they're gonna show us a back
Wiggly, wiggly.
door, because we have to, like,
No,
sneak past the bearded
you
demons.
rolled a 1, so you do not get the quick way out.
Alright, so as we're walking, Renat goes, "We have to come up with a way to get around those bearded devils. I don't know how kindly they're going to be to slaying this one," pointing at Varram.
I believe Micaiah has invisibility dust. Before we go through that room, maybe we can turn a few of us invisible.
Where is it? She's a bear.
She doesn't have to be a bear forever.
Oh, we gotta drag him then.
I can carry him.
Not yet.
So you can,
We'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there.
Is that
Thing
what bear,
I'm
says,
worried
what bear sounds like?
This conversation happened as
as
we're
you're
walking.
walking, yeah. So you guys approach the edge of the hallway and kind of like turn. Actually, at the end of the hallway, the one in front opens up the door, and like you see her yell something out in the room and then closes it back again and stands in front of the door and is like, and then continues on. But now you're heading down the one that it looks as though you're inside of a snake that's moving, and it is very unsettling for you.
What concerns me is that bridge, slippery one that I fell off of. How are we going to get across that this time?
Very carefully.
Has it been an hour since Micaiah cast Spider Climb? Would that still... would it still
no.
affect her?
I would say everything that you guys have done, like the fighting and stuff, was really quick. The conversation was pretty fast. I'd say you have like another 30 minutes, and it won't take that long to get to the end of this hall.
Nice. I think that potion that I had taken was also an hour. We'll double check that potion of climbing. Unless
Maybe
an hour.
Micaiah should be sure-footed and use her to help guide us.
Yes. As a bear, we should be able to tie something to her.
At least a rope.
Alright, so you continue. The two behind you, they're staying probably a good 10 feet or so back from you. When you get to, there was another, like, two entrances to your left, and then one to the right. That was the room you came out of, and the decapitated body of their companion is there, lying in the doorway. And
I just
the
see
one-
Eric lifting up a sheet, rolling the head under it, like, sorry.
Like
The
you're
one
over there
in
inspecting
front.
her coin purse.
The one in front, you see
Corn
her like,
purse.
her head is straight, and she's ahead of you, and you see her
Change
kind of like look down slightly, but then just nothing about the back of her gives anything away. She just looks down, and then she turns towards one of the other entrances on the left and yells out something in the language, and then continues down. But as she's yelling, like you can see, like she's yelling, but then she disappears for a second as the thing keeps moving.
And none of
past.
us speak that language,
No.
right? You said, okay.
Icky bubbly! I don't know why they speak that.
Why they sound like Raiden?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
just
know.
make
I got it. I got
they
it.
make Raiden's attack noise. That's how that's snake language.
So you get to the end of the hall, and you can see the edge there where going to the left heads to the bridge and going to the right heads to that room with the statues. And she stops, turns around, and gestures towards the bridge. When you come around the corner, you can see, like, resting on the bridge are two of the lizard folk that the ones had fallen and, like, had to climb back up, and they're just kind of,
Okay.
like, sitting there. They're talking to each other in the language that she's speaking. And then she comes around the corner and stops for a moment and looks at them, and then they stand up. You guys all come around, they stand up, and one's on one edge and the other one is on the other side, so they're like 60 feet away from each other. And she just like looks at the one that's closest and then starts screaming at them in this language. And it's like, get out of here. And that one it runs past you and down the hall.
I thought you were gonna say like two of the ones that we like let
Yeah.
escape to their freedom. They got this far and they're like, "Whew, I'm tired. Let's take a break."
No, the ones that fell. And then the one that's on the other end of the bridge, you see her, she just goes, and it's like really nervous because it has to slide down basically, so it just starts sliding down.
This poor prick.
And it gets not even that far, and it just goes.
Pouring one out for my homie in my mouth.
Yeah.
In my mouth.
And it's sliding, and then it just goes, and it flips off the edge and goes falling down. You hear it
Aw.
fall, and she's just like, and you hear it smack down on the ground.
Sorry,
This is
dude.
the second time that it fell. And then you just start to hear all of these hissing, and then like.
When he hits the
She's just
ground
like-
and makes that slap noise, Ark's just kind of gonna wince. He's like, I did that not too long ago.
And you hear the screaming, very quick, actually, this time, as you imagine that the babies got to it.
Howard doesn't have to imagine. Howard knows.
I
was there. I seen it.
And then she turns to look at you all, and she like makes a gesture like this.
Hang on.
Yeah. Reaches her hands out to you.
Zan takes out his rope.
Okay. And you see her, she like takes it and is like, go. And she heads up the bridge, and it's actually at an angle now, which makes it even more difficult. So she heads up the bridge, but
Wait, so the bridge moves like
no,
a snake
the bridge
room?
was at a slight angle, and when you were coming down, it was easier. Like,
okay.
But now you have to go up.
I was like, what did we do that caused it to like
No, it's not
slide?
like this, but it's enough.
We
with the
fucked this
moss.
place up.
So she heads up it, and she looks pretty fine.
Is she
Like,
holding it, or did
she's
she
holding
tie it
a rope.
around herself?
No, she did not tie it around herself, but she's holding it to be like, I'll help you guys. And then she gets to the edge, and you see jutting out of the stone is a piece of rock that's just like on the other edge. And then you look to your right, and you can see that there's another one where you guys are on that side. And she ties it around, and she's like, "Let's go."
Zan goes first.
So everybody can just make me you as a bear. Everybody can make me a dexterity save with advantage. Just one.
With advantage.
What about me?
Yeah, you can do the same.
Okay.
Because you've got the bear claws, you can probably stick them into the moss.
17.
23 for Zan.
14.
12.
As a bear?
Yeah, but I have spider climb. Like extra climb.
You could yeah, actually no. If you've got spider climb still going, then never mind. You're fine.
Advantage.
Yeah, you're fine.
Listen, I've got that potion of climbing, so I'll just like get on all like fours and just act like climb up it like Breath of the Wild style. Like the way
Yeah, you're holding on. You almost fall again. As you're going up, like you
Don't look
feel
down, don't look
confident,
down.
but then there's like a moment where like your foot slips and you start to head down, but you grab onto that rope and you all make your way up. And she's just kind of standing there looking at you at the end. Waits for all of you to get across, and then she keeps walking. The other two behind her again have no problems. They tie the other end of the rope, and as they're going, they roll it up and bring it back up to you, hand it to you. And then you find yourselves at the other end of the bridge. And they walk you up the steps, and then to the left is the secret door. It's wide open. And they just look at you like,
Erdnot just kind of half bows at them, walks through the door.
Eric's just gonna go.
okay. So you all exit. The tribe's home. And when you do, there's a lever on the side, and they just pull it, and then you see like, and it comes back down and closes. The dead bodies of the lizard folk that you had killed in this room.
Grinds them up there in the doorway.
God.
And you are back within the Tomb of Diderius. The big, large sarcophagus is sitting there untouched, although a little bit blood sprayed. And on the other side is the double doors. There are the parchment that are hanging beautifully decorated room, lots of gold glittering everywhere. There's light in this room, and the double doors are open again, leading back into the divination pool room.
Was there something in this room that like talks to us or something?
It was the big
Diderius.
sarcophagus.
I want to ask it if there's another way out than from here, than going back through the devils.
Eric wants nothing more to do with this place, so he's on that. Go right.
Micaiah is going to drop her wild shape.
So you drop the wild shape, and Varram falls to the floor as the ropes that were tied around you are like, and he falls down.
Quick, grab him!
He's got no soul.
Oh.
I don't believe that was the truth. He just looks unconscious to me. I think it was a bluff.
Well, someone tie him up. I'm sick of carrying
Soul or
him.
not, doesn't matter.
Alright, well
I'm just gonna grab him.
Well,
Isn't he all tied
Should
up?
you tie him up?
I'm gonna shove something
he
in
was
his
tied to
mouth,
me,
so if he
so-
does wake up, you can't
should
like,
tie
start
him.
yelling.
I was gonna say you tied his hands and his feet last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
tied up.
He's like basically like sort of hog tied.
Is there anything around, like, are there any, like, fabrics in this room?
Ark's gonna grab one of his pair of old underwear out of his pack.
Oh my god.
He's gonna take it. And he's gonna.
You got some
Sorry.
traveling
His old undies.
trousers?
Yeah, traveling trousers. I like that. Travel trousers.
Oh boy.
you see parchments and like banners that are like beautifully ornate banners on the walls.
Oh, I'm not gonna rip up beautifully. I'm not gonna have this god get pissed at me. I was just gonna tie his mouth with something, but
I'll cut the undies in half and I'll put the outside.
While these two
towards
are
the back,
arguing,
and I'll gag
Kaya's
him
gonna
with that.
cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Okay.
I really am gonna use my.
She's
An
hurting.
old,
Ooh!
just an old,
Plus
worn
10.
out pair of undies that I had to get rid of anyways.
Shove it in his mouth. He's still
Yay.
out.
I never
I'm actually
rolled a
gonna
maximum.
Gag him
speed.
like this, so that like
Little
that.
better.
all
He
right.
deserves it.
If we want to spend 10 minutes in this room, I can cast a prayer of healing on all of us.
Yes,
Perhaps
I'm
we should
hurting.
do that in the other, the bigger chamber, not the divination one. No, the
The
divination,
chamber with the
the pool, not the one that
there,
has.
they can see us in that chamber.
I think we should just do it now.
Just before
I
we
just
get
wouldn't
to
want
the
to
divination
offend.
pool.
10
He's
minutes.
gonna point to the sarcophagus.
You guys doing it?
Hey, squirrel.
Yeah, it is my last second level spell slot. So, but yeah, I'm gonna because I think we could all use it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, do we want to take a short rest in this room before we go out there?
I always forget. What do we regain on the shore?
I think it's whatever.
You can do hit dice, get your some hit points back. There are
I
some
think I used
spells
most
or,
of my hit
or
dice
things
last
that
time.
come back on a short rest.
I will
It's an
actually
hour.
get two
I don't think I get
spell
any
slots
spells.
back if I do a short rest.
That's an hour, correct?
Yep.
Is it an hour?
Yep.
That was for me thinking 30 minutes. No. We want to rest here before we go on.
I want to get the hell out of here, but it's up to everyone.
I mean, I know I need a heal. I'm hurting.
Well, we have this prayer of healing for 10 minutes, or we can wait an hour.
Let's do the 10 and get out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here right now.
All right.
You all sit down and take a look at your surroundings. It is the brightest room that you've seen in this place. I mean, other rooms have
Everybody
a little bit
can-
of light, but
You see, like the
Well,
walls are made of gold. Is that what you said?
no, there's just a lot of. It's done.
Damn, slam that down.
Damn!
It's delicious.
Just, Vanessa, you need to come drive me home.
Nah, I can handle
How
it.
many dice do I have to roll? Ah!
Oh, we got an arm wrestle.
Everybody can
Get
roll
my juices
2d8
You roll
plus 5.
it. You roll it
shit.
for
Oh, I roll it for
Yep,
everybody? Is
you're
that
Oh,
how-
casting the
2d8
spell.
plus 5?
So
Oh,
you
okay.
roll the 2d8 plus 5.
Oh!
And it goes for everyone, gets the
Yeah.
same amount? Oh, cool.
I see.
Come on, come on, come on, come
So
on.
your spell.
What's that? 12.
Yeah.
Plus 5?
That was plus 5.
I'll still take it. I'll take
Did you just roll a 7 and a 6?
A 6 and a 2.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
that.
That's
Alright,
13.
much better.
Then that's 13.
Oops. Sorry.
We were both wrong.
Don't listen to me!
High fives.
One more.
We both. I think you have a 9 and I have a 10.
Math is
for
hard,
intelligence.
guys. That's why I don't teach that.
You said 12, correct? Not 13?
13.
Dumbass. Nice. I know, right? We just made a joke about that.
Alright, so you sit, kind of looking over at Varram, who's just lying on the ground. He's got like blood caked in his hair, like his face is messed up.
How many people did you do that for? Did you do that for him too?
I can do up to 6, but I believe I can choose.
Okay. I didn't know if it was
Let me
like
double
an
check.
area thing, like he automatically got
6
points.
Yeah,
whatever.
6 creatures of my choice.
Oh, okay.
So, I kind of want to keep him out. So
I wanted to make sure if that's what you
well,
wanted.
healing won't necessarily bring him back to. So
I
it's
mean,
your
does he
choice.
look very injured?
Oh yes, he is close to death. He is very, very badly beaten. Cut up. There looks to be puncture wounds in his
All right,
skin.
He is- he is
I'll
tough.
have it apply to him as well then,
Okay.
just so that he doesn't Yeah, if we have to like run in the trauma of like
Yeah, we
running,
don't kill him
kills
while
him.
we're running.
Because he's gonna like get jabbed on my armor as we go. Take like 6 points of damage and die.
He's just getting an arrow, like the back of the quill of your arrow is just constantly sticking him in the head as you're running.
Oh my god.
Alright, so...
Was this mission dead or alive?
I think he was supposed to be
I
preferred alive.
asked, I had asked,
There
yes.
were various... It depends on who you talked to.
Well, remember that I had asked, what if we bring him back? Does he need to be alive?
Yeah, it
People
depends
kept on
who
just saying, like, it's better. We would prefer a lot of that.
Yeah, it depends on who.
I'm gonna
This
just
skull is so cool.
I know, that is really badass.
5 more.
I mean, my
to
meat
lay
is
on
great.
hands to myself.
He's always touching himself, this one.
So you see a couple of the wounds on him, like, knit themselves back together very, very slightly, but he's still... That looks pretty bad. So...
Only healing myself so much, just in case we have to fight some devils. I've been keeping my HP below my half so that my AC goes as high as it can be. But now it's back to 20.
So, well rested, well, sort of. Slightly rested.
Magically
The double
healed.
doors open into the divination pool room, which is dark, except now that the light from the tomb of Diderius.
Oh wait, didn't we want to douse him with the invisible powder?
All of us.
Yeah, I think if we're all within 10 feet, it can...
Yeah, you'll have to huddle together as you go.
Perhaps, Micaiah, if you could cast Pass Without a Trace also.
Well, I also have...
I'll be carrying, if I'm carrying him,
You go
That-
a
the
little bit
dust will-
slower, but yeah.
but the dust will touch him too, correct?
Yeah.
Like touch both of us?
It's everything within 10
I don't
feet.
have a spell slot to cast that, but I do have invisibility, which I can cast.
Well, we have
Creature you
the,
touch becomes invisible.
we have the invisible powder that you were gifted by,
and then the invisible powder.
was that Fires of Atheline?
Do you have
Yeah, Dust
you
of
can
Disappearance.
cast a higher spell slot for Pass Without a Trace.
But I don't have any more spells.
Oh, you're out of spell slot.
Yeah, I need a rest. Like, I only have one first level spell slot left. I
Alright,
can use
then-
invisibility, but only at this lower level, so it will only be a creature that I touch becomes invisible. So
Well then,
I could touch
do we want...
Varram, make him invisible.
I think the dust would do all of us at the same
It's
time.
everything within 10 feet. The dust
But
of
they'll still...
disappearance.
But
Yeah.
Dust
Yeah.
of Disappearance, they'll still hear us, correct?
Still,
So it's best
But are
in
we
this
better
case,
to go all like they saw us come in,
so then we should just
so
put it
just
on
act
him.
like we failed
Aye.
and we're walking out defeated and
Just
we didn't get him.
Douse
Just him,
Varram.
just him.
And perhaps one of us.
Because otherwise,
stealthy-
if they
the stealthy
hear
one over
something
here, just in
coming
case
that's
something goes
invisible, but they hear it, they might think it's a threat.
about how much does Varram weigh?
What is it?
About how much does Varram weigh?
Put him in the bag of holding.
He's probably...
That's a fair point.
I
He's
mean, we
probably
could, right?
about 200 pounds. Like, you slung over and you felt it.
Not sure if you...
What a heavy folk.
Oh, I can push, drag, lift 300.
Damn, kid.
Or
But that's not carry, is it?
Drag lift.
Yeah, lifting, but not... I mean, you guys can work together, or...
No,
Try
that
to-
would look
I-
a little awkward.
Carry, I'll take him and just make
You'll
enough...
just have to go slow.
Just make enough noise to cover my non-stealthiness.
How about
you have some like furs or something. that we
right?
can
Like if
put on
we,
you.
what if we like so if he's
Bolt
have him
you
slung
up.
over his shoulder and you have to hold them by the legs like here? Can we like make a sling?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it looks
pretend
like
you
you
hurt your arm.
your arm.
There you go.
We have fabric of some kind that we could just
I think
tear
if we
up.
just make me invisible while I'm carrying him and just act like I died, that would be a lot easier. Just make enough noise when
Well, I
you're
can only
clanking
make
around.
one person invisible.
Yeah.
Well, I
we
see
would
with
have
the dust.
Oh.
I have
Oh.
the dust of
Well.
dust of disappearing.
Yeah, we could use the dust, and then I could also touch one to make it both be invisible.
that
The
sounds
dust-
like-
the dust will do
all
me
of
and him
us.
both.
Oh, so
If
do
one
that.
of us is
Oh, I
gone-
mean, if they just go stand over there and you just
Or we act like we lost him. We can't find him, so we're rushing out.
if we can all be invisible, we might just try and sneak right by.
Yeah, but I feel
We
like
have
if they
disadvantage.
let it
hear a
not
threat,
sneaky, lad.
we're not sneaky. Every time we try that, we fail. They didn't care that we were there. We just act like we're looking for him, so we rush out.
You're the sneaky one.
I say we run out. Being like, Arik, where are you? And then they'll probably be laughing at us because we lost our friend and we didn't get what we came for.
Just make enough noise to cover my clanking about.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we should be yelling. I say we just go.
Alright, I say we also, if they inquire, the snake folk were too much for us.
Yep. And we lost him. Can't find him. He turned back or something. I don't know. Who knows?
We got separated.
We got separated. We can't find him. We
But
went back.
don't stop to talk and chit chat.
No, just go.
Let's go. As best you can.
Alright, so what are you doing?
I say we run.
Right?
We dash. We act like we're looking for him. Start yelling.
So I'm still holding him.
You
Arik!
lift him back up over your shoulder.
This fucking piece of shit. Cult guy.
But we should run like around him, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
first we have to
Like flank
step
him, someone
away
behind him.
and throw the dust on him. And you have to touch. Oh wait.
No, no, you don't need to.
Just the dust, as long as they're in
Yep.
the same 10 feet.
So you
I feel like we're in a music video.
Is that right?
step back, throw the dust. You notice that it gets on like one of the little brazier things, like on the bottom, and that half of it just disappears, and then it goes
It's
like
so cool.
and then I bet Arik just kind of goes and Varram and is gone. There's
I
like a
really
little
wish that
glittering,
when
and
you
then-
made that noise, that Boris opened up above you
Oh my
and
God.
just doused you
Oh,
in
with like
sprinkles.
glitter or something?
Just
We should
me?
have like a
No,
pull
thank you.
string. No, you should have like a pull string that you
Just
pull.
for me.
And it's funny
And the
because she has,
confetti comes
she has
down.
the camera perfectly placed that you cannot
No, you
see
can't
him.
see him.
Like not even the bottom
I
of
know,
his
but it's
Can
great,
they
though.
see on these cameras?
No,
I'll tell
no,
them.
I took a picture for the
It's great though.
for the
You can probably see his feet.
I can tell this a little.
leave it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's right above my head. Alright, so
Zan is gonna stay within 10 feet of Arik. As long as he does, he can see where Arik is with his blind sight.
okay.
Project.
Sorry, I'm soft spoken.
You should go on the other side of him. I'll take
Don't
behind.
make it too obvious.
I won't.
If it looks like someone's in the middle.
I don't know where he is.
Arik, please make a stealth check. It's just a straight roll.
Do I get to guide him?
Because you're
Invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving you guidance to get a D4.
Oh shit, yeah. 12 plus 1 plus 3. 12 plus, that's 15, 16.
Okay.
I got this dwarf on me. I'm like the old like burglars that would wear like the pantyhose in the face and all black, and then like going up the stairs, little squeaky.
Oh god, she's rolling.
squeaky
She's rolling.
shoes.
Oh god, she's rolling. Shh.
Sorry, what did you
That's
say?
a
you
lot
got?
of dice. 16.
16.
Go 25.
Alright.
30, a 32.
If I had another spell slot of my second level, then I could do Pass Without Trace. It would be fine. But
Alright, so what are you what are
Oh,
you
God.
doing?
wait.
You're
Just-
running
just-
you're gonna run right
Yep.
through the okay.
Oh god.
I'm
She's
gonna-
smiling, and it's like.
And I'm gonna move as best as I can with them, knowing that he's probably gonna make a bunch of noise.
Right, we're making noise. We're not trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
like-
No,
I know.
we're
I'm
making
the only
noise.
one- I'm the only one that's trying.
I'm calling out, Arik! Arik!
Run before those snake folk keep coming back.
So you guys kind of rush in past the divination pool, down into the room where the dining area, basically those two long stone tables, and then the other one on the edge. And you can see the 5 bearded devils. Their purple skin, varying shades. The leader one is like sitting by themselves at another table, a little bit more like the skinny, lithe kind of. You can tell that they've got a little bit more rank just from some extras that you see on their neck and whatnot. And you kind of come rushing through, clomping and making a lot of noise. You're yelling Arik and whatnot. And you see the leader just kind of like smirks a little bit and smiles at you all as and then they're looking like right at you as you go, and then just kind of like you go through.
Seriously?
And you see them squint a little bit, and you can tell that as you're going past them, like trying to jog a little bit with this heavy guy, they tilt their head a little bit. 2 others in the room also, like kind of look, and then look at each other, and they're all smiling at each other. And the one notices and very likely recognizes Varram on your shoulders. Like, it's clear he sees you. And one of them, and then the leader. Like,
So
they
three
see
of them saw me?
3 of them see you. And the leader is like, he's right there! As you, like, and other 2, they just go, ha ha! They just, like, laugh, and then the whole group just starts laughing because now the others can see you.
Damn it!
But they don't
They
do anything.
Oh.
They just kind of, like,
Okay.
laugh, and then you hear
I
them.
think we're funny.
You
Cool.
hear, because you speak Infernal, you hear the leader kind of call out to the others, like, well, our mission appears to be over. And you exit, like, you head down the stairs
Nice.
really fast, and you can hear them, like, shuffling and getting up and, like, collecting their stuff and everything.
We
as
so
you-
overthought all that.
That's why
Waka
I'm like,
waka.
They don't even give a shit.
Didn't even really think about it. Devils might have blind sight as well.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
but
about that.
Isn't Blindsight
at
only
all.
for oh no, I'm thinking of Dark Sight.
There's dark
What's
vision,
blind-
there's blind sight.
Well, Blind
And
Sight
there's
is for the
also
magic.
True sight.
The
True
one
sight.
for the
That's
magic
true.
is you had. You had
That's
that.
devil.
That
sight.
lets
Got
me
devil's
that lets me
Devil's
see in
sight.
complete
Oh,
darkness, not invisible
So what did
things.
they?
Well,
What did they have?
No, like magic.
You can't tell me.
It was the one that we use against.
We don't
Respirar.
get to know. We
You
don't
can
get to
see,
know
like,
the things
through
on the other
magical
side.
darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what that's
And
going
as
on.
you're going
Right.
down the steps, one of them yells out, "Treasure over here! Treasure, you're missing it!" And you just keep heading down the...
I'm not stopping.
Nope, 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 nope.
No,
These devils are a bunch of carnies. Step right up.
seriously.
And you hear another one go, "Shit, that would have been fun."
Ark is gonna.
Um,
Not that you can see me, but Ark is gonna be staring straight at the back of your head when I hear that. Just like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. That's what they wanted.
So,
Erdnoth thought he wanted to go down there.
Zan can see you staring daggers into him, and he's slightly uncomfortable.
Or not thought they were using reverse psychology.
Micaiah, make a perception check. You all are heading down the steps as quickly as you can, and you notice you're back in the room with that the clay golem, and all of the items that you left behind. And the clay golem is just sitting there, silent. And you see a set of doors directly here that you walked past them, but you didn't go through them, and then the other set that you had walked in when you first spoke with Hilda. So
Oh, we never found a book for her.
Never did.
so you've got a set of double doors immediately that you can go in, and you, based off of knowing how you got here, you believe that leads into the room where the bone boulder hit the wall and shattered. You guys had gone in through another door instead of coming across to the set of
Is
double
that
doors.
next to the room with the that tile?
Mirror?
You'd have to
Come
go.
here, thank you.
You'd have to go back up that hallway that the bone thing came rolling down.
And that's where we're headed, correct?
You're headed in that direction. So you can either go back into the room that Ilda was in, or open up the door and see if you can get that room. It's like a set of lungs, kind of, and you came to this one. That's
I don't want to see the angry ghost woman.
Zan will check the door for traps.
I could give her like an empty journal.
Okay, you can roll an investigation check. Empty journal.
23.
Or not carries 2 around. One that he writes in and one that he
Do
writes
we
in.
have
when
any
it's
other
full.
books with us?
I don't think so. Or not just has 2
Too bad
journals.
Abaddon wasn't here with
Did
her smut.
Abaddon take her smut with
Did
her?
she have her smutty book?
What'd she leave it?
Oh yeah, Evident has
You
that.
don't want to.
Aw.
You don't want to leave the smut.
She clutched that with her when she ran out of the manor.
She was like setting aside all of her books to leave behind, and she's like, oh no. So you are headed through that first set of doors. You're skipping Ilda. Just asking. You can skip her.
I don't know.
You get the
We're still
impression
running,
that-
right? We don't.
So you bust through that second
going.
set of doors, and it's a long and like it kind of is shaped like narrower where you are, and then it branches out, kind of like I said, like a set of lungs, and you're at the top. You can see the bone boulder all shattered and broken at the edge there. Bad memories for Zan. and you keep running.
Real bad.
And you're at the
Dang,
end.
that
As
got
you
us
look
all.
up, you can see that the hallway, it's getting darker and darker as you go through this, by the way. There's a little bit of light coming down from that, like, ceiling hole. But it's pretty dark in here, and that hallway is jet black. Like, there's no... So you head back up.
Yep.
So, heading back up in through the hallway, Zan, make a... Oh, you made a perception check. As you were running by, you look over, you can't help yourself. You look over to all the stuff that was left behind in front of that clay golem, and as they're pushing the doors open, you're running, and you're like, I see a fucking rock. And you just keep going.
No rock, bro? Little pet rock?
Someone took it.
Picturing when the camera does that thing where it's like dun dun dun, zooms
Oh,
in
yeah.
like right on its eyes.
I thought you were gonna say it was like the angels from the angel statues from Doctor Who,
Oh, wait.
where
Turn
whenever the
around,
light
like-
goes out and they get a little bit
No,
closer.
it's you and you look at them.
Oh yeah.
So you head up the hallway. Sorry, you can make a perception check because you have the
Why
highest
does that sound like
perception.
that?
Oh, that's not an electric truck.
14.
Sounds weird.
14. Just gotta check something here. You just kind of, you're looking around and you just keep running. You guys run up the hallway and then you come to the edge. And you can see tiles still scattered all over the place in this room. And you're right on the cusp of the room with the tile chimera. In front of you, you can see the room with the safe. It's open. And oh no, it's not open because you sealed it. No, you sealed it on the other side. So you can still see the word safe, like scrawled on the door, but it is closed and sealed from. And there's a hole that you use to come through. And then to your left is the opening that you came through.
Just go
That's
for
good
it.
idea.
Which one?
And we're just running right through it.
Okay. So you guys get ready and you dash across this room. The moment the first foot steps on the ground, you
down.
start to see the tiles like
God damn it.
shifting and trying to come together. But even as you exit and look behind, you can only see just like a few of them have come together, and it's like this little makeshift.
I'm gonna sacred
Clinking.
flame as we run by that little pile of moving
Okay.
things.
So all of the tiles that you hit, there's like this pile, and then this blast comes, and some of them scatter all over as you guys run out into impending darkness.
Impending doom.
Into your
doom.
death.
Doom, doom.
Into the city.
Right. It's like fuck.
We're back in the fucking
You
city.
find yourselves in that antechamber with those 6 wizards, the cowled wizard statues, and all their heads turn towards you as you rush by. You keep your eyes down
I was
as you
gonna say-
know
I
not
was
to
gonna
look
say,
at them,
Art's gonna say,
but
yeah. I was gonna say,
as
Art's
you're
gonna say,
running,
Don't look.
you can hear the shifting of stone. Their faces are following you through the chamber, and you exit out into the open air of the Serpent Hills, kind of flanked on either side by this canyon rock. And the sun, it is, you can just barely see it heading down. So, heading down to your right. The sky is probably like that purpley blue color. It's getting close to like 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Are animals close by? Can we see them?
You head down.
And Gildan too?
Yeah, you head down the ladder that you would use to climb up and out, and you can see Gildan just like pacing around your horses that are out there.
Good boy. Stink pig. Good boy.
The sun is starting to set now. Should we try and find a safe place for camp?
Is there a safe
Absolutely.
place in
Far,
this God's forsaken desert?
as far as we can get.
I
from
need a
here, at
rest.
least.
That's all I know.
Are we kind of like when we first
Can
got
I do a
here?
nature check to see?
There was a well, and like we're pretty sure that like they were dragged down the
Yeah, it
well.
was like bodies or something.
Like-
It's,
No,
it's
those
about 100
graves.
feet to your east.
After what we've been through, would we think that the snake folk dragged them down, or it'd be something else? They seem antisocial.
Make
And
a
not kidnappers.
Make a
Well, they need
what would
food
that be?
for
Make
that.
an intelligence check.
They need
for
food
me.
for their babies.
What, sorry, you wanted a nature or survival? What are you
No,
trying to
like
estimate?
survival, like to find a good place.
Oh, yeah.
20!
Nice.
You thinking about it as you guys are, you come up to Gildan, pat him on the side of the face, and looking over, you can kind of see the remnants of that camp. It's a good 100 feet or more down the way. No, the Yuan-Ti can't fit. I mean, you think about it and you think, well, if they were snakes, they could probably slither through, like, whatever crack is at the bottom and come up, but how would they get anybody down there, really? And it didn't really seem like their style.
That's my thoughts exactly. We make camp away from here. It's not safe at all.
Agreed.
All right.
We strap, what's his
I'll-
face to Gildan
Okay.
How long can you keep Gildan? I was gonna say about.
He's just there.
forever.
Oh, okay, cool.
Till I tell him to fuck off or he dies.
Jesus.
So,
Fuck off, pig.
And then he's like,
are you heading back the way that you came? Like, you came kind of up
I think we're
north
just
and-
kind of heading away from this. Yes, back the way we came until, like, the heebie-jeebies feeling is, like, gone, and then we will find a place to, like, make camp.
Alright, you can make a survival check.
Can Zan help?
Yes, with advantage. You and Zan are working together to find a place. So you exit, heading past, you get onto your horses,
21.
and head away, going back
Zan.
down the path that you took to get here. You travel for like maybe another hour or so. It is going to be tough to find a really good spot in the dark, but you do a decent job, given that it is dark now. The sun is going down. And you find a little, like, rock inlet that is not quite a cave, so you don't feel like you're gonna have to clear anything out, and are able to set up your camp
Yay.
for the night. It starts to get a little cool, as it does when it's this kind of region. But you have time to set up your makeshift camp. Light. Your campfire is not roaring, but it's enough to keep you warm.
Smokeless fire.
And you set Varram down on the ground beside you all.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's free.
I'm going to take my rope and tie him to myself so he doesn't wake up. Like,
How are you tying him to yourself?
like I'm just gonna take like 4 feet of rope, like tie it to him 4 feet, and then wrap it around my waist.
Okay.
Does it
So that,
appear
like-
that he's
Just,
like magically
just enough to,
unconscious, or
to
just
kill you with it.
unconscious because he's not well?
Are you inspecting
Like, does
him?
Makai have a chance to like expect
Like if
him?
he wakes up in the middle of the night, like
So I'm proficient in medicine.
Yeah,
I don't want him
medicine check.
like hopping off.
I like the idea that you did it like the old, you had a straw hat and you were on like the riverbank and you
17.
had a line tied to your toe and you just toss it out there for fishing.
He is, from what you can tell, he just looks pretty badly
Just banged up. He doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's like magically
It's tough.
sleep
it's-
induced.
Make an Arcana check, actually. In addition.
Six. Not gonna
As far as you can tell, he looks to just kind of be really badly beaten up. You notice, though, with your medicine check, he has similar, like, serrated slice marks that are very similar to that cultist that you saw dead on the ground in the divination pool room across their neck. You can see that it's kind of similar.
I'm gonna share that with them.
I'm also, because we haven't done it yet, like pat him down and see if he has anything on him,
Okay.
weapons or otherwise, because we just fucking took the
Weapons,
dude and
notes,
grabbed.
anything, yeah.
Well, we didn't have a
Make an
chance to-
investigation check. He is wearing his purple robes. They are covered in blood.
Dirty 20.
They are covered in blood. They're ripped. They're there's cuts through. Like they didn't bother trying to strip him down or anything, but Searching through, you go through his pockets, and you pull out a piece of paper.
Huzzah.
And the
And it says,
paper...
fuck off.
And then Gildan just.
Right.
That's the magic word to make
I
him
was
go
gonna
away.
say, is that like your, I was gonna say, is that like you
Fuck
have
off.
to say something to make him appear? and
No, I
something
just have
else
to think it.
Oh.
But
You
that
have
would be
to
funny.
think
Like you have to
fuck
think
off,
of like it's like fuck off.
Fuck off, pig.
So on this paper, you see it's scrawled like fast, written really quickly. You can tell. You see SE.
Someone write this down.
SE 52
East
52. Zent ZHENT and safe house with a question mark.
I feel like Dory now.
Sorry, what was it? SE
What was it?
52
SE52
Wallaby
Zent,
Way.
Yeah.
What was the number?
ZE.
200 Wallaby
ZHENT.
Way.
42.
42 Wallaby Way.
Safe
42
house.
Wallaby Way, Sydney, Australia.
42 Wallaby Way. Sydney, Australia.
An address.
Where's Zant?
So, have I ever heard of Zent?
Make a all of you make an intelligence check.
I was gonna say, that sounds super familiar.
Damn, I have intelligence. 17.
Nat 20.
You said, it
I'm
was,
so smart.
you said it was an straight intelligence?
Yeah, just straight intelligence.
Purple dice is on fire.
14.
It's a 21, but
Wait,
nat
did I
20.
get more than you on that one?
Erdnot,
heard
Erdnot, Micaiah, and Art. You guys all look at each other and you're like, Issa, Zentarum.
That's why I was saying. That's what I was saying. It was.
Okay.
Zan is too busy like looking at Varram to make sure that he's actually like passed out.
Zan looking
still.
for a
He's just
change
like-
purse.
He's lifting his little battle skirt.
He's just,
Zan is always
I
looking
don't
for a change
understand.
first.
Why doesn't he have a change
And
pass?
there is a dog on this.
You will
The
always.
lassie dog.
Is he gonna shit in that yard? Please tell me we're gonna get that. He's gonna.
Oh, that's their dog.
Okay.
It's
good,
like,
alright,
it's
they're
like
right there.
it's like
Okay.
1 year old. The puppy.
So, Zentarum, Issa, Alice the White. So that is what you
So
think.
we know where that is. Zentar.
So now we know what tells the
Zentarum is not a place, it is
She
it is
said
an
it was-
organization.
It's
Issa
the one
is
that
a-
she works for. She told us
Yeah.
about it when we were in the castle. I think, right?
Remember, that's how Talus the White and Issa had the
Connection.
connection. They had the code.
And
Oh,
Talus
or
the
was
White
it in
has
the inn
this
that she told
dwarf's
us that-
nephew, right? That was the
Talus
one in the
does, yes.
in the
So
prison.
Talus, you
She was.
remember.
She wasn't. She also after.
So Talus
She
the
told us
White,
she's
She
also
wanted
after the
the
mask.
yeah, was a Zentarum spy who had infiltrated the cult of the dragon, and
Feels like it was so long ago.
It was.
it was so long ago. And
It was like a year ago.
she was looking for
Over a year
the.
now.
She wanted the white dragon mask. She was sent by the Zentarum to get the white dragon mask, and you all let go 2 of the 3 prisoners that were in the basement, leaving behind the dwarf, who was a cousin of Varram the White.
And we wouldn't recall his name. Or maybe Zan would, because
Nah,
you were the one who talked. Didn't you talk to him?
Briefly.
I don't know that you asked us.
I don't think I asked his name.
So putting it together, Southeast 52, Zent, safe house. You're all smart enough to, like, it's very likely that about Southeast 52 miles or so from
Southeast.
here,
I was
from
gonna
where
say
you're
it's like
at, the divination pool.
right, but did we know like that's totally subjective on when and where he wrote Southeast.
Well, most likely in this
Yeah.
place, I would
Well,
say.
like I said, it looks scrawled quickly. You know that he was attacked immediately after
And
he got to look in the pool after he sacrificed his
So he
cultist.
came here for that purpose to
Right.
find out where it was. So that's why he would write it down.
And then
Catch up or not.
Right, no.
I don't write notes because my character wouldn't take notes. That's my excuse.
that's my excuse too.
Your
keep a
character has
journal.
like bookcases of journals
I
that he
know.
writes down
That's
about what's
detailing
going
my
on.
adventures.
What do you call what we're doing?
You're about to throw something at him. Flip the fucking table.
His detailed adventures. What have we been doing this whole time?
Zan, I've never seen this side of you.
That's not Zane.
What
that's
happened in the
Pat.
Feywild?
That's Pat. That's not Zane.
Breaking character. Breaking kayfabe.
Don't write down blues clues in
Well,
my
I'm
journals.
only gonna remind you of stuff if you remember it, and that might
Blues
that might
Clues.
sway
Steve
you.
Blues Clues.
believes in you.
Fuck Steve.
Steve is
Might screw
probably.
ya later.
No, we
alright.
gotta get like Lauren's like notebook. Like
Yeah.
because she has like half the
It's
shit
like the
written
key to the
down.
world in that.
So you, it is night. You have Varram tied up.
Yep. I'll take first watch and have Gildan patrol around while Varram is
Does
tied to
anybody
me.
want to take watch with him?
Well, before anybody takes
I was
watch,
gonna say, are there any scenes anybody
Do you
wants
mind? Do you mind, y'all, before anybody goes to bed? I know we've had a long, journey here to get here with Varram here, but I just gotta say, while we were in there, it popped in my head, and I remembered that when we get back to Waterdeep, I'm hoping that you guys can join me because I'm gonna have to go on a little hunt for a witch.
I hate witches.
Huh, me
And
too.
I hate magic myself. But in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm
So-
with you.
You know how you had to do some things for your daughter?
Aye.
I need to do some things too.
So you need to kill a witch.
I need to talk with her. I need to know what she knows.
Fair enough. We can make a witch talk.
She knows about my mother, my father, possibly. I mean, I don't even know if he's alive, but he could be out there somewhere, and I just need to know what happened.
And the witch is in Waterdeep.
About an hour away, so travel.
This is the father that you...
Once we deliver this one, Baron, I think we have enough time to get a detour for you. Sort your stuff out.
I really appreciate it. I mean, that's why I came on this journey in the first place. I
Is that a raid or is
You
it
like roleplay. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for hanging out.
I saved Zan because obviously I like helping people, but that was my original mission, and I want to make sure that I follow through on it.
So I'm not the only one who got detoured then.
We all got detours, I guess.
That was the most important thing. Whatever you need, Micaiah.
We can't hear you over here.
He's trying to be quiet so we don't attract any woodland creatures like raccoons.
I appreciate that, Zan.
spoken. They need to hear you on the mic.
I appreciate it, Zan. I appreciate you guys.
You have our support. After we get rid of the trash.
Well, yeah, we have to get rid of him.
We'll find your witch and we'll find your family. Wherever they are.
Aww. Now I'm gonna hug him.
As you're
End
finishing,
scene.
as you're finishing up, you actually see the shifting body of the dwarf. He, kind of groans lying there, and then, you see his eyes open a little bit, and then
Ruined
just
our moment.
kind of close again, oh. But he can't talk because he's gagged at the moment, and he just kind of, lies there.
With my
Aw.
cod piece.
Yeah.
Gagged with a cod piece. That's gonna be, yeah. If Ark ever had a heavy metal band, that's what
Gag
God.
with a cod piece.
cod piece.
Does
Cod
it
piece
does it
gag.
appear that he's regaining consciousness, or is
Yeah,
he just
yeah. He's coming back. So he just kind of is laying there, shifting a little bit.
Is he already tied to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna You say he's conscious.
He's getting there.
Well, to the chin.
Homie, don't play that.
Arg will sit him up and lean him up against you said we're in like not like quite a cave, but like an indent in like a rock or hillside or something. He'll lean him up against a wall.
When you do, you see he makes like the worst noises. He's just clearly in a lot of pain as you move. He's like,
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
he's definitely.
Tis a scratch.
Just a scratch.
He just kind of leans up.
There's
And
a flesh
he's got like
wound.
one of his eyes is like swollen, and the other one is like almost swollen shut, so he can like barely see you through the one half open eye.
I've
he
looked
looks
like that
around.
before.
He just looks at you like.
I'll pull it down a little bit. Just enough. Not enough to get the taste out of his mouth, but just enough so he can actually speak.
That beef jerky taste is still there.
That was far grosser than anything I've said so far. I don't know why, but it was.
So he's.
It gets pretty hot underneath all that armor. Okay?
He's just leaning up there. He just looks at you all. He barely moves. He's just looking at you. He doesn't say anything.
We want to ask him anything. I thought you pulled it down to like say something. I thought you were gonna
No,
ask
so
him
he
stuff.
can say.
So I thought, because you said he was going rah, 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 like he was trying to talk.
Well, he was
right?
kind of, he's making noises. He's like, "Ma," and then you pull it down. And you just kind of.
I'm just gonna pull it down. Looks like you've had a rough day.
Who are you?
We saved you.
Saved me. He holds up his spines.
Still breathing, aren't you?
Would you rather have been snake food?
You see him kind of go like
Snake
this,
shit.
and he puts his hand up.
Yes, you can put that down.
Then he just shifts again. Leans back.
You've been tasked to bring you to justice.
Who's justice?
I think you know who.
I don't.
Well, then you'll find out.
Who are you?
You'll find that out in due time as well.
Cue the electric guitar riff. And then the sense the bomb's a motherfucking green
Where's the note? Where's the note?
I have it.
Do you have it in your hand?
How long ago did I find it?
Just a minute ago.
Yeah, I guess I'd still be holding on to it.
Okay. You see him look at the paper in your hand. Are you searching for it as well?
We were hoping to get the mask when we got you. Realized that you no longer have it. Did you find out where it was from the pool?
Perhaps we should bring him back to his cult. Let them
Well, they
deal
did say
justice to him for losing it.
that. I mean, they did say that we didn't have to have him alive, and we do know where the mask is. So I mean, no need to really keep him anymore.
That is very true.
Well, you have to us now, dwarf.
All you have is scribblings on a paper.
Which clearly
I have
you were
seen
just
it.
staring at.
Seen it.
And if you're not talking about it, we are no closer than before we grabbed you.
We don't need you anymore, as far as I can see. So you better start talking.
You're still alive because you didn't take your poison pill, so you must want to live.
You see him like shift uncomfortably when you mention the poison pill. He's just kind of like internally.
Like Micaiah's trying
Should've
to
taken that
kind
out
of
of his
intimidate
mouth.
him.
Well, I
Just
still
a
have.
+3 in intimidation.
Don't we
Did she
still
try to,
didn't I
like-
take 2 of them from when we were in the castle?
Make him think that she really is gonna hurt him or kill him. Give him that impression of intimidation.
What is she trying to?
Basically saying like you don't have any. We already have the information we need. We don't need you. You're a liability. You're 200 pounds.
Like, we can kill him.
You're heavy as
the
fuck.
cult can kill him.
We can kill you,
Or
or we
the-
can give you back to the cult. But unless you offer us some information or something that that's gonna be useful, why should we drag you?
I would say that's more of a persuasion because he's.
If we're trying to persuade him to talk, but
Alright.
there's
Just because
Persuasion, then.
the
That's fine.
council will be more lenient because he can't go back to the cult. They will kill him for losing the mask.
Right, obviously.
So
Obviously, we don't want to really kill him. But Micaiah's just trying to make him talk.
Since I'm proficient in both intimidation and persuasion, I'll draw my dagger and just kind of let it like. I'm just gonna look him in the eye, pull my I say dagger, nice about this long, and just kind of like gently lay it along his collarbone, close enough to his.
So if you're proficient in it, then
I would.
say
I
you
would
roll
s-
and I help him, maybe.
Well, I was gonna say if you're talking, I would do that if I could give you that, only because I'm proficient in both.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you want this would be more persuasion because someone of this level is very aware of the dangers that they face on a day-to-day basis, and being killed by you, the council that you keep talking about, or his cult, like, what's the difference really? So it's more of like persuading him to choose
talking
you.
will grant him leniency.
Yeah, perhaps.
Clement- not
Whereas,
clemency,
like, he's
but-
not intimidated by
Okay.
death from any. Okay.
I mean, I have a +5 in intimidation. I can.
So
right,
am I.
but he's not afraid.
We can
you
just
know?
we can just
Can I
each
try to
take
go
a
then
leg
instead of-
and
Well,
just
instead of doing the
starts
intimidation, then
dumping
can
it.
I also say, my friend has a good point here about the pill you know about. Clearly, if you want to live, living is more important.
You have a
Perhaps we could put
stronger
in-
chance with us and where we're taking you than with your compatriots.
Perhaps we could put in a word for you where we're taking you.
And Zan is going to look him in the eye. He's going to mutter a little bit of Sylvan, cast Charm Person as he says, "Convince us what you know, please."
Ooh, I have something I can use.
Is that a saving throw?
Yes, Wisdom 14.
So you said some. So hold on. Are we making rolls?
So
Persuasion
he. Hold on 1 second.
Like, we're all talking, just jabbering at him at once.
I totally just remembered I can cast friends on him.
I think that only lasts a minute though, right?
Well, this robe, it allows me to do it once per day. Oh yeah, I mean, however long friends last, but this robe lets me do it free for once per day, and it resets at midnight.
Nice, that's cool.
You see, like, just as through his like one good eye, he's looking at you, and you speak your words to him, and then you see like a little smile across his face. And he's like, "Good try, half elf scum." He kind of leans back a little bit. Says, oh, you were trying to do persuasion, so I'll say persuasion with advantage because Arik is there with the sword next to him.
No! Okay, a 5. I am not
5.
persuasive.
Oh, you don't have like a plus anything in it?
Nope.
Ah, shit.
That's why I was thinking intimidation, but then it really wasn't.
Yeah, he's not intimidated. So he like leans back, and he says, "It sounds to me like you need the mask as much as I do."
You know nothing. Worf. No offense.
I know who you are.
We know who you are. So what?
Of course, you know who I am.
Of course you know who
I'm
we are. We're famous.
Varram
Haven't you ever
White.
heard of us? The Bums of Greenest. Bums of Greenest.
Now he knows.
Fire
I know,
starts
now,
shooting out.
I know. Why would you tell him who you were? That was like the worst reverse, easiest reverse
Sitting there with
psychology
Roman candles, like
ever.
He already knows who we are.
He
Maybe.
could have been bluffing.
I know, maybe.
And I know who we are.
You still call yourself the White, though you no longer have the mask, and you are not with your cult. You are Varram. That
I
is
am
all.
Varram the White.
You are nothing.
That mask is bound to me.
It was bound to Resmir too, till we crushed her skull.
Resmir was weak.
Well, look at you.
And you seem very strong.
Not very smart.
He just closes his one good eye.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Friends on him.
Does that make him like forget what we just?
Hopefully.
Yeah, for the duration, I have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice. Is he considered hostile towards me right now?
Oh yeah.
Ah, damn it.
I didn't even have to look at her.
Yeah,
I was
I was
looking right
gonna
at
say,
you. Like,
like-
come on, dude.
I'm pretty sure friends has to be somebody who's your friend.
No,
Already.
it just has to be someone who's not hostile towards
Well, I
you.
mean, like friendly, neutral, or friendly.
No, I mean, you might not like us. That's not hostile.
he's
Like, I mean,
hostile.
he's not
Three of
sitting
them
there on the
tied up
ground,
and
like,
we
trying
dragged
to
him out.
bite us.
He would.
Well, actually, it says once,
The only
Cannibal
thing
Lecter.
once this is over, he knows he's been tricked, and then he will attack.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping him is my codpiece from biting you.
And he looks at you all and he says, "We can work together.
Together how?
Find the mask."
Why would we work with you? You just said you're bound to it. You're just gonna steal it and go. What's in it for us?
Could break his legs.
Aye.
I cannot go anywhere.
So why would you help us? There's gotta be something in it for you.
Like he has the mat. He'll have the mask. There's got to be something in it for us.
He just kind of like gets quiet for a moment. You are right that I cannot return to the cult. Not after this.
After losing the mask? Well, if you regain it, what's your hope? You're gonna walk back in there and they're gonna forgive you?
This council you speak of. Tell me more.
No, you answer my questions. You're the one that's tied up.
He looks away from you, like. This is one eye.
It's only proper to answer the lady's question.
Thank you.
I like the idea of like
Thank
an
you.
Uncle Ruckus eye, like one's like
popping
one just
out.
huge.
Is that your hope? Is that your hope that you're gonna find the mask and your cult is gonna take you back?
No. They will not.
Because I
take
hope you understand that your cult is going down. You're on the wrong side here. And you
When
can
you
get
say
on the
that,
right side.
He, like, painfully laughs. Like, the moment you said that he was on the wrong side or the losing side, they're going down. He's just, like, cough, like, a little bit of blood comes up. He's, like, laughing, like,
Exactly why we shouldn't help him. He's batshit crazy.
Nah, he's just stupid. Look at
Alright, Varm.
Batshit crazy, and I know I've been a bat before.
We'll level with you. Half of the council wants you dead. The other half wants to know what you can tell them of the cult. You're willing to work with us and the cult. You at least get to keep your life.
us in the council.
Hmm?
You mean us in the council?
who is this council?
In good time, many powerful lords and ladies from all over the Sword Coast. The cult has not gone under the radar. Many people already know what they are planning. Perhaps you can help them fill in the gaps. I think that is worth your life, is it not?
Basically what I said, you batshit crazy.
He's not even looking at you. I'm looking at you, but he's not.
You don't even understand the opponents you have. You are on the wrong side here.
Art's just gonna like massage her shoulder. Like he knows she's not. He knows that she's not being super like intimidating or anything like that. But he's just kind of like
It's okay.
you tell me. You got this.
Make a persuasion check.
I give him guidance.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome so much.
13.
Wait, so it's a 3, alright.
So he, not acknowledging Micaiah at all, is
Sexist.
looking at you, Zan,
It's okay.
and he says,
You knocked off my head.
if I help you find the mask, you will put in a good word with your council for my life.
We will tell them that you cooperated and still have value. So yes, I will recommend they keep you alive.
Got many more years in you, boy. He's very young, he said, for a dwarf.
He's 100 years younger than you. He's like your daughter's age. You see it, like his eye kind of makes its way over to you. You can tell he's probably having a hard time seeing anybody who's not like right close to him, which I assume Zan would be pretty close. So he sees you back there.
No, I'm only about 4 feet away. We are tied together at the moment.
Oh, I didn't know how far away you.
Yeah, just a 4 foot, like slightly more than an arm's length of rope.
Oh, okay. I thought
She
you
tries to
gave
run
him
to
like
get
a
dragged.
little bit. Of
Well,
there.
since you're a dwarf, wouldn't it be like two arms?
2 arms lengths of rope. God, with my armor and everything like that, dude, he's not moving me.
In Dwarvish, he turns to you and he says, "What is your name?" In
Rubottle.
Ooh,
Do we understand that? What he does brew bottle, is that the same in common as it is in Dwarvish?
I think most dwarven names are given to dwarves by, like, common-speaking people.
So it sounds.
So Irish just kind of shit. So,
Maybe it's a dwarf thing. It's alright. I'll massage your shoulders now. It's
He-
okay.
so when they touch each other.
he says to you in Dwarvish, which actually make an intelligence check.
Maybe I
I'm
might
giving
pick
you
up
guidance.
Some of it. Oh, jeez, yes. Guidance. It's cocked. Even though I want to take the 19.
I know it was either a 19 or a 9.
So that's a 10.
Okay, yeah, you can pick up like little words here and there, and like you're frustrated, but also like pretty happy with yourself that you can hear a word here and there, but not enough to
fully
pick up what
understand.
is happening. So Varram like is facing you now, and he says, "Brewbot, I recall what happened to your clan. Stories passed down.
I would imagine most would.
I was not yet alive, but we heard of you. Queen. She could help bring vengeance upon. Who was it? The one that destroyed your people. Join us, and she will surely reward you.
How about you work with us, and the All-Father might forgive you.
The All-Father has abandoned his people.
That is not true.
Then where is he?
You have lost your way and not paid attention. You've turned to this evil god. Turn your back on your people. Work with us. Go back in the good graces of the Soul Forger. When it is your time, you can dine in the Hall of the Ancestors instead of waiting outside for all eternity.
You cannot promise that.
I can't. Only you can work towards that.
Make a persuasion check.
Does he? Oh, you don't have friends.
What?
still,
Oh,
right?
no, I didn't cast it. What? A 4? 16, 17, 18.
Cheese Cat says episode title: The One with All the Touching.
Hey,
Sorry,
it's a
Robert.
really good cantrip, and I wasn't using it before, and now I just want to use it
it's
all the
a
time. I mean,
touches.
why
I'm
not?
saying you and me are in the
Great.
shadows massaging each other.
Every
apparently.
check, I'm just like
Episode
hey, it's all right.
152. The touches.
The cooties. I didn't want to tell you guys at first, but now I'm just touching you guys.
Sorry.
18. Right? 18? Yeah.
Okay. He just stares at you and then leans back and closes his eyes. That's it. He just seems quiet.
He's just thinking. That laid some god down on him.
What did you say to him?
If he's done, then I'll just put the gag back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her. What did you say to him?
Appealed to his dwarf manity. What is the dwarven equivalent of humanity?
His dwarfness? You appealed to him as a dwarf.
Appealed to him for his soul.
It appears like he's considering whatever it is that you told him.
Any
didn't tell you no,
dwarf
did he?
would. Not yet.
We need to know what he knows. That's all I know.
We've got a journey back to Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
First, you have to go back to the Borskier Bridge.
Well, but our
But
end goal
eventually,
is
yes,
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
We've got a
And
long
And
journey.
ride those fucking things.
We've got a long journey back to Waterdeep.
Although,
There'll be many more times to talk to him.
in theory, firstly, you have to visit the Zent safe house 20 or 52 miles away to the
Wait.
southeast.
We have to do that first.
I guess if it's closer,
you should,
doesn't
you
make,
should.
doesn't make sense to
You don't
It's
have
going
to,
right
go
from here.
way
It's
over
52 miles.
there.
but that is where the mask.
Yeah, we should go.
But weren't we tasked with grabbing him and taking him back?
Him in the mask.
The mask is an
But it's
important
we're
bonded
gonna-
to
so-
him, so if he's willing to help us,
And we're gonna drag him this entire way.
but he might be able to help us
thing. You got
get
beast
the
of
mask.
burden.
And if
He
he's
is a
willing
beast
to
of
work with
burden.
us, I mean, we can have Gildan carry him. Boars too. They can take turns.
This is a bad idea.
All of our ideas are bad.
This one is especially
Yes,
bad.
but what if that
Yeah,
mask doesn't stay
we've had
there for
worse.
that long? That's powerful. Then we'll never know where it is.
Then
Then
kill
it'll
him
be a
and be done
needle
with
in
it.
a haystack.
Kill him and be done with it. We have the information that we need at the moment.
He has more information where they are, where their targets are going.
He has to. He's
He
a
was a
Wyrmspeaker.
Wyrmspeaker.
And you,
Speaker.
He's
and
a
you don't
Wyrmspeaker.
think that he's not going to try to escape.
Of course he's
Of course
going,
he's going
to.
to.
Or his friends come. help
Of
him.
course he's
His
going
friends will
to.
come kill him.
Friends come, they're coming to kill him.
He lost it. He
just
doesn't
throw his
have anything
hand-
else
he'll
to
just throw his
lose.
hands up.
I'm not saying we don't need to keep an eye on him. Trust me. We do. He's gonna turn on us any second that he gets. But he's more valuable to us alive than dead right now.
I disagree.
He knows things. I know you like to put heads on spikes. I
It has
promise
nothing-
you.
it has nothing
We'll
to do with
find
that,
some
sweetheart.
goblins, some squirrels, something.
Nothing
okay?
to do with that, sweetheart. Not this time. This thing
Listen.
is a bad idea on a bad idea.
So what do you think we should do? Kill him?
Take him another couple days, and then if he doesn't give us the information we need, then kill him.
The council wanted him alive. The council.
They said it was better for him to be alive.
Better, not necessary.
Aye, it means if we found him dead,
Then
he's
it's
dead.
dead.
We
Not
found
find
him
him alive and kill him. How are we gonna explain that?
Do you think the council would rather him escape and be out and about? We don't know where he is, or
Well, we're not gonna let him escape, obviously.
He has
he
no
ever intends to let
resources.
anybody escape?
The dwarf is dead, then we are no closer than we were before we left.
Again, our actions throws hands up. Fine, whatever you people want to do.
Does that a lot.
Well, because he's frustrated. He said, "Fucking these people."
Knock him
Just
out,
kill
man.
him. Just kill him.
Knock him out.
You have to remember, Art's a soldier. Everyone who stands against him, he just slays. He doesn't go on reconnaissance missions.
Not him. Not him. He has people who do that.
Makai and Zan no different, I feel like. Me too.
So we keep him alive for now.
He's
Aye.
more valuable at the moment. If he
At the
becomes,
moment.
listen, if he becomes a liability, and we agree,
I'm telling you three now. The moment he tries to escape,
I understand.
he's dead.
I understand. But right now, he's more
Hear
valuable
that,
alive.
dwarf? He's gonna look over because I don't know if he's awake or not.
His like little eyes open. His like mostly not busted eye. He's looking at you all. He's listening.
Does he?
Well, listen, I mean, he doesn't
Doesn't
agree.
acknowledge, but he just looks at you all.
You piss me off, I'm gonna tell him that it's alright. Understood?
Looks at you.
You don't like me. That's fine.
I was gonna look right by Zan and just say, "He's not going to save you. Enjoy that taste."
My mouth.
And on that
I really had
I
to-
really
that-
have to pee.
Me too.
All
Let's
right,
say that jockstrap / cod piece.
Pee
was
break.
we're gonna take a quick break. All right. So jumping back in, it is
Oh!
it is the evening, the first evening on your way back. So, anything else you wanted to talk to Varram, who's sitting there watching you all, or
Nope. Just letting him think.
he kind of gags a little bit on the gag that you have in his mouth after you mention, he like
Enjoy that. It's from under.
Like the taste of that.
all right. So you
Just
you going to
before
sleep?
Zan walks away, he's
Okay.
gonna use his quiver just to say to him, "Your kin is still alive." Say, "I've seen him."
you see his eye just kind of like shift over in your direction.
Big brain.
All right.
Good job.
Zan will take last watch.
Do we want to team up? How long?
Yeah, you guys can do it
We
first.
can only do
Just
2
second.
hours without it affecting a short rest, so we each have to take a watch alone.
Oh, alone. Okay.
No, Gildan will be up with everybody.
I'll do it before you then.
Yeah, I think that's worked out.
Yeah.
Everybody can roll. We'll just have everybody roll perception.
11.
12.
19.
Of course.
Thunk.
I know, Jesus.
Perception's
Eight.
one of my best stats.
So
It should be one of mine, but it's not.
you all kind of
Does
Stay
Gildan
up.
have? Does Gildan have to roll too?
yeah, Gildan has.
Oh.
Because he's gonna stay.
Does
Does
Gildan
you have
have
to
a
roll
special
4
dice?
times, right?
Oh, 4 times?
No, just one.
13.
So from an outward perspective, you just kind of you're all out like looking around, and it's a pretty quiet night. You regular sounds of the nighttime creatures that come out in the desert, frogs and snakes and maybe coyotes and things like that. Just as the sun begins to dip below, or actually it's already down, so you start to see little things coming around. Varram stays awake and quiet for the whole night unless somebody wants to. He kind of dips in and out of being awake.
All I'm gonna do is make sure that he's on my shift that he's tied up. Like I'll make sure that's all fastened tightly, just in case he wanted to wiggle his way.
When you get close to do that, you see him like trying to make eye contact with you while you're.
I don't know.
All right. So the next day,
Long rest?
We get a long rest.
you get a long rest.
Oh my god, it's been so
Rest in,
long.
in like
You don't even
4 or 5
understand.
sessions.
Yeah, literally been so long. Oh my god, I feel so much better.
That's like you've made us like
You don't even understand.
get to the edge of our resources. That's the first
Yeah,
time in a
that was the first
long,
time.
long
Like I was
I had-
like, if we get into a battle right now,
I had
I'm
literally
effed. I had one spell left,
I had one
and not
spell slot left.
not
I
only
had-
about half hit points.
I had a whole
so,
bunch of stuff left.
not
I
even
had
that
almost
much left.
everything.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I think I used was one superiority die and on my second wind. I had my action surge, my other points.
Yeah, but we had like no spellcasting
Yeah, I had
spells.
one
whatsoever.
spell slot
That was
left.
not good.
Well, you guys are a lot more versatile in your abilities.
But that was good. That was good because I was
Mikaya
on the
rolled
edge.
An 8. Did she roll misperception by mistake? That's
What's
kind of a one.
Oh, I was gonna say, as I rolled a 1, it sounded like a pun to me.
So the next day, you all get your stuff ready, and what's your plan? Varram is like again in and out. You might have slept, maybe not.
Well, we're bringing him back to the console, right?
We're going to find.
Oh yeah,
Mass.
find the
Mass.
mouse first. Yeah.
I was just gonna find. But he knows that everybody wants to go.
Yeah,
So
but
he's not
how
gonna-
far is the council versus the?
He's not making. He's not.
And we
he's
don't know
not-
how long the mask
He
is
just.
gonna
He
stay
just
there.
said. He just piped in. He wasn't making an argument.
Did it go?
He
Should we
just
knock him out,
basically
though?
grumbling.
Should we knock him out though? For real?
Last time I tried to knock out a woman, I blew my fist through her brains.
We'll keep him conscious until he gives us a reason not to.
Alright.
Right. So you guys pack up your gear.
You wanna
Where
put
is
him up?
Varram being held?
Yeah, it would just.
Keep
How?
his
Where
hand-
and how is Varram being held?
So his feet and arms are bound, like prisoner
throw.
style. So he has like enough slack that he could like shuffle walk, but then his wrists are tied back down towards his feet, so he can't like raise his arms up over his head.
Okay.
And we'll just put him on Gildan, just so that he can keep up.
Is he like slung over Gildan?
I'd say probably, and then tied to Gildan.
It doesn't need to be tied. Yeah.
We'll let him sit side saddle.
Say-
We're not going very
Like
fast.
a lady.
Like he doesn't have to be strapped like cargo. Just
no,
like
he's just like both
tied.
both
Yeah,
feet
like-
over the side, but
because if he decides to be like a baby and like I'm not walking, he's just gonna get dragged.
Okay. So you all start heading down through the Serpent Hills. The air is drier out here than it was in the Yuan-Ti home, but it gets hot. Like as the day wears on, it starts to get pretty hot on this particular day. You do your best to stay within the shade when you can, but it gets more difficult as the day goes on and the sun starts to like rise over. It's hotter than yesterday, like the day you arrived at the Yuan-Ti area.
would it be hot enough, like a season change, like with Zan's hair and appearance change?
No, this is just kind of like it's just a hotter day, kind of. No real good reason that you can tell, especially because as far as you're aware, outside of this area, it's winter. So, to be honest, you're not overly sure why the Serpent Hills is not cold. So you head down to the south-ish and follow the path that you had made previously. A little bit of wind had kind of, you can still see your marks in the ground. Pretty uneventful for the majority of the day as you continue down. You're able to make a perception check, Zan.
21.
You are able to see like this group of hill giants like way off and are able to kind of shift everybody out of there.
They're the same ones.
You don't get close enough to know, but there are larger creatures around. You see like birds of prey that you had seen before. Some of them are much larger than you thought. As they get like closer and fly overhead, you look up and there are these shadows that go over you, and you're like, oh shit! Like you decide to, when you see them coming, kind of like step off to the side and not make yourselves as openly visible on this open area here. But overall,
Ark's chest hurts when he sees those big wings from the flying murder deer. What was it called? Perryton.
Periton.
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 Just rubs his chest a little bit.
But yeah, not an overly eventful day. You continue on, and what you begin to notice as the day fades and you have to start looking for a place to settle down again, there's a little bit more green, like scattered here and there. Like mostly what you had seen as you get as you're going into the Serpent Hills is that it starts to die and not necessarily even be dead, but like living things are more of that brownish color, the burnt kind of color. But as you are heading in this direction, a little bit more green starts to pop up here and there, and you notice that Varram's looking a little bit better today. He's not like miraculously entirely healed like you guys somehow get to be every night, but he is better today, like a little bit better. He's just kind of watching you all and quiet. He doesn't say anything. So you are able to find, you're still heading back the way that you came up, so you know at this point like areas that you can find.
Have we seen any sign of whatever was following us on the way here?
No. Looking around every once in a while, you do see like some kind of animal or something that's like, but
not the raccoon with the wig.
No, not the raccoon with the wig.
How far
That'd be
away are
it's
we
like
from
basically
that
like Puss in Boots,
location?
but a raccoon.
You gather
Raccoon.
that
In a week.
your horses can travel about like somewhere between 30 and 35 miles in a day comfortably, with you taking rests and all of that. So you probably have by a little bit past midday tomorrow, you would probably be at least the distance that you should be, whether you're heading in the right direction.
Alright, so Makai is going to share with the group that she has a spell called Locate Object. So once we're in 1,000 feet of that object, I
Can
can
hone
attempt to
in on it.
locate it. If it's moving, I will also be able to tell the direction of the movement.
Zan is gonna look towards Varram and ask, so, you want to tell us what you know where the mask is? And
We're
they'll
going to find it.
pull down.
It's only a matter of time. You might as well tell us what you know. The more you tell us, the better recommendation we can give to the council for you.
So he spits out the gag. You see him like, look. I would presume. Well, I guess I'll ask you.
Chuckle.
Have you been giving him water and food? at
Yes,
all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Giving him provisions.
Yeah, not
Bread,
not
water.
like half. I would say probably half rations.
Okay.
Not enough to.
Zan wouldn't keep a prisoner without keeping
Yeah,
him.
never. Yeah, he's probably right by him.
I'm still gonna make sure it's only half rations.
Okay. Like Sam puts down a whole one, walks away.
Eric rips it in half. Puts it back down.
What is Dick? Just takes the cup,
Eats
the
the other
full cup
half.
of water, just pours half in the dirt, looking at him.
That's for my homie.
Well, we're playing good cop, bad cop. You know?
I suppose. Yeah, it works out.
So he addresses
golf cart
you,
thing?
Zan, and his one eye, like one of them looks worse, but the other one's getting a little. The one that's like half open, he's been exercising it.
So it was like
He's
Rocky.
got that pink eye.
Yeah.
It's like
so
Rocky, basically.
he looks at you
Nice one.
and he says, "I will bring you in the direction." But to help you, I need your word that I will not be killed when the council makes their decision.
Zan's gonna look him long in the eyes. As long as you do not betray us, I give you my word.
Zan, what have you done?
He nods, and he says, "Tomorrow, we must shift slightly, more to the east. You'll know it when you come upon it. There are no other structures in this area that are not ruins.
You understand if you're lying to us, he's gonna slit
He
your
just
throat.
kind of like leans back when you start talking to him. Closes his eyes.
You understand he's gonna slit your throat, right?
Eric won't even look over. He smiles
Sexist
at what she
asshole.
says, but he's not going to look over in Varram's direction.
Anything else, Tom?
Can you give us any intel on this structure that you know of?
Without opening up his eyes, you hear him say, saw a house surrounded by green stone, serpent, the winged serpent, sign of the Zent.
You know nothing of who currently has them within its location.
Fool showed me figures, but my focus was the mask.
What if it's Isa?
Small one, 2, 3,
Small
larger.
one.
Eric's going to look over.
His eyes are still closed.
Still down.
You confirm. I need a conflict.
Yeah, while he's talking to Zan, us three will right ahead and be talking.
You speak louder.
He's talking about Isa.
Stage whisper.
He's talking about Isa.
Aye, perhaps.
Most likely.
Not perhaps.
Don't forget who else was
Who
after.
else is as cunning and as small?
She had her own agenda. This should not be a surprise to us.
I
No,
understand,
but
but what are we
wherever-
gonna do in there? March in there and try to steal the mask from Isa?
Well, it just seems
No,
that
we don't steal.
wherever we go, she seems to be.
Is she our enemy?
I don't think
Not
so.
yet.
But being enemies doesn't.
Well, we need to
Isn't
be
the same
prepared
as-
in case we see her. What we're gonna do?
I'm more worried about the other one, Alice. She's more of an unknown.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Isa's the most deceptive person I've ever met.
That's
You
Alice.
gotta remember. Slept with
You did what?
Did Zan hear any of that?
I mean, your conversation with him would be.
I think
mostly
Zan
that,
just
but
heard,
like
you
how-
did what?
how
her.
Sasha
And then all of a
over-
sudden, I disappeared into a tapestry. It was
You
the
would-
worst night of my life!
You would have heard her say that she slept with it. Like your passive perception is like 17 or some crazy thing.
Worst night of my
16.
life. At least the second half, anyway.
Mine's 10.
We know Talus was after the White Dragon mask.
I understand.
I think it's her. Her and Nisa probably together.
But what do we do about Isa?
They work for another.
I can't hurt her.
Did we when? Was anybody from them the what was it called? Zentarum?
Mhm.
At the council meeting?
I don't think so.
They're like a secret roguish.
Like kind of like the, kinda like that.
No, the Harpers
But
were
didn't
part
we
of
go to
this.
They
her
were,
too?
but they're also like a secretive.
But didn't we go to her too?
No, we met Talus.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
She's the one in the lodge.
She was one
Yeah.
posing as
Yeah.
cultist.
We met her. We spoke
did.
with her.
She's not our friend. Helped us.
No, but she helped us.
As long as our aims are aligned,
That's
then
what I'm
she
thinking.
is an ally.
And if she won't give us the mask,
Then she is no longer an ally.
it's gonna bald ass forehead. Oh, such a bad idea. So be it.
You
I
hear
suppose it's the only
Varram from over on the edge. He says, "Never trust the Zent."
They're a wily group on that.
You used me.
Does Zan know anything more about them? As being, I know they're not. You're a Harper, but like, I don't know if they gave him
Are
any
they like
more
giant Sith?
information.
Like, is one good?
And
One's bad?
you have to remember, Zan's only been a Harper for less time than he's been with the group.
So
Zan would know that the Zent are known as the Black Network. But I think he's told you all this before.
Yeah, like
They are the Sith.
They are out for themselves. They typically don't. The Harpers and the Zentarum don't get along, but they don't actively fight each other. They have their own agendas. They kind of stay out of each other's way, but the Zentarum are willing to do things to achieve their goals that the Harpers are not willing to do.
So they're willing to play dirty.
They will play dirty.
Right. I guess what I'm getting at is.
What's their goal in keeping the
Zan,
mask?
You're right.
Versus
First of all,
ours?
what is this council gonna do with this mask when we give it to
Right.
them?
I mean,
and then
we're our
what
own
are
thing. We
this
don't need
Zen people going? Like, what are their plans with it? It's like
Right.
we can't assume
Exactly.
that we have to go in
No, I
and
agree with
start
you.
cracking heads. We have no idea what
What
we're
are the
bringing them
Zentari
this mask
gonna
for,
do
other
with
than
it?
we
Do we
it
want
just-
to have Varram go in front of us a little bit with Gildan and Zan will
Yeah.
kind of
Just time to a tree.
come
Yeah.
back and we can role play this?
Yeah.
Right.
So Zan's gonna come back. Micaiah, did I hear you right? You
What?
slept with Issa?
Right?
It was a mistake, but listen, that's besides the point. I went through some other dimension. I don't know.
A mistake.
Listen. It
I
was
like that
somewhere out
I was
there,
gonna say,
she's-
someone's Issa gets a pain in her heart. One of her many, one of the many that she's conquered.
Listen,
Has
it
said
was
a bad
a
word
fun.
about
It was a fun time. However,
there's no judgment.
then I
but-
put my hand through a tapestry and I ended up in some crazy place. So obviously she's insane.
But he had mentioned
Keeping a tapestry like that next to her bed.
he had
Well, you were actually on the floor.
Yeah,
in the
you guys
middle
were,
of
like,
the
in a-
hunting lodge.
That was a
Whatever,
lot.
on the floor.
I don't think that was her fault.
Anyway, she blames her.
I can't help but think that perhaps when we find her, you could speak with her, find out
I could.
if she is the
I
small.
mean, I can charm her.
If she was one of the small ones that talked about.
It has to be. I mean, you know as well as I do that she's always in the middle of things. And if it's a small one, it's her. I know it's her.
We've been in a flying castle in the middle of the sky, in the middle of fucking nowhere, and she came in on a goddamn dragon.
Right. What's their aim, though? That's
I
what
believe it
I'm
was a
saying.
vibe.
What's their aim
It's got wings. it
versus what's the
flies, and it looks
council's
like a
aim?
lizard.
Why do they want the mask?
Right now, we want to get the masks away from the cult, but
That's all I know, but to give it to who?
I do agree. These masks are very powerful. They should
Can't
not.
just give them over to anybody.
They should not be all given to the same.
Mm-mm.
I agree.
If we can get the mask,
We need to separate them at least. I don't know.
perhaps even we can get the Xanthorum to agree to work, at least tentatively, with the council. And then with the mask could be a sign of good faith that we could rely on them in the future, but they have their own goals.
And they like to work alone.
But
How are we gonna convince them?
it would be very, very good if we could convince them to work together.
I can work on
You
Issa.
might have to use that old honeypot trick.
I might have to use that honeypot trick.
It's the most classic one in the world.
I don't get it.
Too quiet. I'm sorry.
The
Oh,
honeypot
they
trick.
just hear pause. Just these
Xander does
breathy
not
like AS.
speak loud.
Xander
These
needs a
ASMR
microphone right here.
whispers.
Yeah.
You need the one right on your
Yeah.
chest.
Getting real close will. But we still have a lot to find out. Masks, about the cult, about the Xanthorum. There's many questions. If
We
it
can't
is-
answer any unless we get there.
If it is Talus who holds the mask,
I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I think Talus liked the cult a little bit too much. I'm a little concerned.
I think she liked the power.
Now I'm a little concerned. If given the mask, you might not do the right thing. We need to be
That's-
careful of that. Issa, I don't get that impression. Talus, though, you need to be careful.
so
Tread lightly.
try to be diplomatic.
When do we not?
We always do, Zan. Zan
And it
2024.
always goes tits up.
We always mess it up, but we always try.
Well, that is unnatural. The natural way is down.
That's why they always go tits up, my friend. We always happen to do things the unnatural way.
Alright.
So, continue, try, see if we can reason with them.
And if they can't be reasoned with, do we leave the mask with them? Do we take it? In the name of the council.
Try and find out what their use for the mask is. We can trust them with it.
Talus seems power hungry.
I agree.
I worry about leaving the mask there, even if Issa has good intentions. I think
This
it'll
is
end
all
up in Talus's
assuming
hand.
that they even have the mask.
This is
Understood,
all
but
assuming that it's actually Talus and Issa.
understood.
It just seems a little uncanny.
Malcolm's sheets.
Okay. Or not disappears.
He just Batman's out of it. We all just turn and he's
Misty step.
Misty step.
yeah, he's guarding. He's guarding with the other dwarf.
Yeah.
Are you?
I suppose
if they
we'll
can't-
see when we
if
get
they
there.
can't be reasoned with, and they're aggressive. Worst case scenario. Do what needs to be done.
We'll have to. That mask cannot be floating out there to just anybody.
Zan?
We must.
Okay.
They can't be reasoned with. They can't be reasoned with.
I think Issa can. I don't know about Talus, but
We have to try.
we
at
have
least.
to try.
We still need more allies. Not everyone on
We
the
don't need
council-
more enemies, that's for sure.
Not everyone on the council is happy about working with each other. It's very tentative.
Half want Varram dead, so it's kind of up to us, I think.
I think
How we
that
handle
we
this.
have kept Venturum's involvement so far quiet. That could buy us good faith with them.
We could.
Hopefully, they can be swayed.
Issa does like attention, so she likes to be the spotlight. Maybe she can be the contact to the council of some such.
Issa has her own goals, but perhaps we've earned enough good faith that at least we can align ourselves.
We'll have to
Agreed.
see.
We'll have to see.
I have a bad feeling.
In short times right now.
Sure, for all of us.
So we're moving away from the direction of the. Yes, because you said that was.
Yeah, you're heading south, and
'Cause we
now
gotta-
he's told
yeah.
you to kind of like, as you're traveling the second day, he's told you to go east.
But away from that witch, where it's like we're not like.
We can't go
You're
there
nowhere
yet.
close. to
Oh,
it.
okay.
The
Yeah,
witch is near
you're nowhere
Waterdeep.
close.
We get
Oh,
Waterdeep.
yeah, okay,
Once we get
that's
to
right,
Waterdeep,
that's right.
I mean,
So on our
do
way
that,
back, I got you. I'm sorry.
then
I had
that'll be
I
that.
misread the. I forgot you said Waterdeep.
Yep.
You said like
Yeah,
Baldur's
you're
Gate,
very,
which is
very
like
far
south.
away.
right now, definitely, that's not on the mind.
No, it's,
Yeah, Waterdeep and
It goes Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep,
Waterdeep.
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter, and you are
For
like
some reason, I thought we were.
over here
Okay.
somewhere. All right, so you continue along your way. Varram is quiet. He doesn't say anything. You feed him, you give him water, other than just to like let you know if you're on the right track from what he could tell. So you continue along. There are signs and tracks that lead you to believe that there are lizard folk in the area. You see at this point, you're pretty familiar with the various types of lizard folk that you've seen, at least the Serpent Hills type and the Mere of Dead Men type. And as you're traveling along, you get this strange, uneasy feeling that you have felt before, and almost at this time, I would say you're starting to become, I wouldn't say accustomed to it, because it's not the kind of feeling that you become accustomed to ever, but you get this like that weird, everything goes quiet all around you. Your horses begin to like get nervous and they start to shift a little bit, and you kind of all stop moving and just take a moment.
Like when Death Eaters come in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That, and everything freezes.
And you hear this like loud, like somewhere off, but coming closer to you.
Can Zan take a look around, see if he can figure out where?
Are we on a path going through trees, or are we in the middle?
No, you're still in like the terrain around you is mostly like sand and dirt and cracked earth underneath. Little pockets of green shrubbery that kind of pokes through
It's like
things.
scrubland type shit.
Yeah, it's starting to get greener more and more as you're continuing on.
Oh, he said Varram said that he saw green.
Yes.
In there. That's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my mind's all over the place.
No, that's fine. And you begin to hear, the sound of flight, something flying. You don't have to make an intelligence check.
Everyone or just him?
Just
Wisdom.
him, because he's listening.
Guidance.
Guys, that's what I meant.
11.
Okay. It sounds familiar, but you're not quite able to put the sound together.
Well, we've had shadows go over us before.
Right. Like, fast enough before you
We wouldn't
hear
remember that.
this, like, sound of, like, and as it goes by, you see the very clear outline of a dragon flying overhead. You can't tell how big it is.
Can we see the
tell
color?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay there and look at? What do you?
Zan would motion for everyone to go towards any cover that's nearby.
And Arika is doing so. Would try to discern the color of dragon.
Okay.
Hoping beyond hope that it's the only dragon.
You can make a perception check with disadvantage because you are looking up at the sky at like a dark shadow that is
Gotcha.
passing overhead.
I can still give him guidance.
8 plus nothing for my perception. Right? Yeah, plus 0. And a nat 20. Shit.
Are you serious right now?
Wait, you had guidance. So 8 plus a d4.
Yeah, that's
Give me a 4.
3.
11?
So that's 11?
You.
I can't believe I rolled a nat 20 on a disadvantage.
Like
I know.
looking at it
Seriously?
as you guys shift away, it goes by
That's
too
just cool.
fast. Like you can see, it is definitely
I
a
bet it's
dragon.
blue.
It's not a wyvern or whatever, but it goes overhead.
I bet it's blue.
It goes over and is gone
It's
before you can.
It's my own
ancient
internal-
red dragon lands beside you guys and lights you all up in one
No,
blast.
it continues on and it's gone. Like you don't have to worry about it. You hear it.
Oh shit. So we just got like the tower just got buzzed like in Top Gun by the dragon.
You remember that feeling of that unease and that feeling of like something's not right, and the horses, that is associated with the drac horn being blown somewhere. A horn that calls the dragons.
Did that happen to everybody when I was dead? Remember when I was you guys were like towing my dead body back, and there was a
Through the
shadow.
city. No, it wasn't a shadow.
Or
There was a
dra-
shadow.
Was there a shadow?
It was like something high in the sky. It was
Yeah,
like a dragon or
I
something,
remember that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the same thing? Did that happen to them then? No, I'm not saying the same creature. I'm saying, did they all get that uneasy feeling then too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do remember like a shadow going over us though.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
just you.
I was just gonna say, 'cause
walking
I was gonna
back
say because
because
our
of the-
didn't know,
wasn't-
wouldn't have
yeah.
known of that other time,
Right.
so I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if it
no.
would make sense.
Nope, no.
It wouldn't make sense to him how to
You-
play that.
When that happens though, like the dragon flies away, and then like all of you just kind of individually, but knowing, think of Vidania, because you also remember that every time that happened, she felt extreme pain to the point of collapsing in the street, screaming. And now you don't know where she is, and regardless of where she is, she would have felt that in theory. So you think of that. It's probably about midday at this point as you continue on. Varram, again, no words, as like he looks up at the dragon. You see him watching.
Is it a big dragon or a little dragon?
It's a pretty decent sized dragon. You couldn't tell exactly how big because you were trying to shift out of the way so it doesn't see you,
I
but
tried
it was
seeing
not
what
a
color
baby.
it was, and I failed.
Yeah, it wasn't tiny.
It was moving too fast.
You see a little smile, like, on his gagged face as he watches the dragon go by, but doesn't say anything. So you continue on, and it begins to get even more lush, a little bit more green as you are going, and then at a certain point, you hear... You think that you're closer, like Varram kind of motions with his hands, like, and you begin to get closer. And then you start to hear a scream, like a yell, and it is not a feminine scream, like a more masculine yell, and
Like a Wilhelm scream.
yeah.
You can see I'm surprised nobody
Come on, Fires.
You can see I'm surprised nobody did it.
You hear this like yell out in the distance, and Varram like looks at all of you, and then you hear.
There
There
we
we
go.
There it is.
Hey.
Right on cue.
And then you hear a I don't know what the sound is going to be. You hear this like monster scream, and Micaiah, why don't you make an intelligence check? Lots of intelligence check. Okay.
My favorite, Arik says with sarcasm.
18.
Yes.
This sound is familiar to you. You can't quite place where exactly, but that noise, you've heard it before. And as you all like round this corner very slowly now as you're coming across, the sound was far enough away that you feel confident that unless something is coming in your direction, like you can scope it out. You come around this corner and you begin to see like a lot of greenery, green trees, shrubbery, and a wooden fence that has been like makeshift built. And then you see it kind of, this is probably like 300 or so feet away. You see a little structure built of stone and some wood that is standing in the middle of this area. There's like a road that begins to lead down that way. And you also see, Micaiah, you recognize immediately, creatures circling around this structure. The creatures are almost frog-like, except much larger. Long arms that are almost like touch the ground, and their legs are kind of like the demon legs that like twist up and then go down, but they have claws, and they're long claws on either end. Their bodies are completely red. Frog-like faces, but sharp teeth. And spikes going down their back. Not wearing any kind of armor, clothing, or anything. You can see two of them circling around. Make a perception check. And it takes you a moment as you're surveying the scene. You can see some smoke
18.
rising up from this little chimney that's on the building. And you also, like, holding everybody back and taking a look, you can see scattered bodies in front of and around this house. You can just barely make it out, but the one that stands out to you is a creature similar to the ones that are red, dead on the ground, or appears to be dead, covered in blood, but green. And you recognize this as being a slod.
So do you see the red?
The ones that you can see stalking around, and these are probably about 10 feet tall.
Slod. S-L.
S-L-A-A-D. They are stalking around. You see two of them at the moment. A third one just comes around the corner, and they look to be trying to get in. You see actually two horses just slain and cut open. There's also what it looks to be like a humanoid body, like draped over one of the horses. Two other of the red slotty, dead on the ground. This is a creature, or a variation of the creature that you fought in the woods all those years ago, the night before you lost your powers.
Oh shit, that was in your one shot.
The day before, and you recognize the green one, which is what you had fought, the shape-changing one, is dead, but there are three others. And you know that these are no joke. And there is blood everywhere that you can see outside of this with the dead, the dead horses and whatnot. And they are appearing to be trying to get into this house. And Varram, looks at you all with, this wide stare.
Can we tell that they haven't eaten it, or do the remains look partially eaten at all, like the dead horses or whatever?
You're too far away at the moment.
Can we tell that she knows, that Micaiah knows? Can we recognize that she knows these things?
Well, I'm gonna turn around and tell.
Well, I didn't know, when
so
she
as
said,
soon as I have that, I'm gonna.
You're 200, 300 feet over. 200 feet away.
I was only
I'm
asking
gonna
when you were
turn
holding us back, you knew.
and tell them exactly what was going through my brain, and I know these creatures, and that they're no joke, and that I'm not gonna go into that they were there the night I lost my powers. I'm just gonna say that I know from experience in fighting in the military that these creatures are no joke.
Arik real quick is gonna look over at Varram and just ask, "Is that the structure that you saw?"
And he'll look and he just nods.
Can Gildan keep an eye on Varram?
Roll the 1. Thank you. 9 months.
Wow.
Wow.
It's so crazy
Could've
when
made a
people
baby
do that.
in
That's
that.
yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking, actually. I was like, damn, that's the whole time a baby's being made. Hey, you subscribe to
Kaya
watch
tells
us.
the party
Thank
about
you.
the frogs. She knew what they were.
Oh,
Erdnot, can Gildan watch Varram so we can get closer?
Aye.
Do we trust that?
You see you can hear, actually, before you see it, you see one of them slam against the stone, and you hear, as those stones are wearing away, and you hear a voice, "Come and get me, motherfucker!"
Oh,
Arik's just gonna look over. That's Issa. That has to be.
You see it stagger back
Who
from
else
this
talks?
window area, and it just kind of comes
Micaiah
back
is
in.
ready to go, because
Was it a
Micaiah's
female
fucking...
voice?
It was a voice you recognize, even from that far
Oh,
away.
Yeah, so
Micaiah's
that's why
I don't
face
know
right
why.
now.
I Bruce Willis totally popped in. It's
Uh,
come get me, motherfuckers! Not that that's
Xander's
Bruce Willis.
Micaiah's so
double
mad
check
right now.
Varram's rope and make sure that he's tied to Gideon before
Gildan.
Gildan.
Gideon.
Gideon.
Gideon's also a good name.
tell
Yeah.
Abram's son's name.
Oh.
if the other dwarf runs, tell Gildan what to do.
Well, he's aware.
And Arik's gonna spur his horse forward
All right.
and start galloping at these fucking.
Okay. So you all head in.
I'm gonna jump on the back of his horse.
You don't know.
He's
Oh,
got
you were
Gildan.
on Gildan, weren't you? I'm
He's
sorry.
just
I forgot. I didn't.
I'm
I forgot you didn't have a horse. You rode Gildan.
The horse slows down a little bit. It's oh.
I know. I was gonna all gallop off,
Doesn't even have
sick and whatnot, and now it's like
Oh, shit.
it's like somebody trying to learn how to drive stick shift.
You were on. Oh, you would be on Boris, who we didn't even roll for.
Yep.
Let's see who Boris is. That map.
Yeah, she's
Oh my
got him in
goodness.
the room reading a bedtime story. So
Oh, they're
There.
laughing.
I don't think
yelling
that's
something.
happy.
Couldn't tell if that was happy or
When we're within, I'll say 50 feet. 50 feet. I'm gonna pull the reins on the horse. Stop. Get off. Hopefully you get off, because I'm gonna smack the horse on the ass, or on the ass, and get her to
Okay.
take off.
Micaiah, you're on top of Boris, who is a very beautiful sea green color, and as he's galloping along, he's like, "Oh, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. I don't have a good feeling about this, Micaiah. This is not gonna be good. I've seen this before.
You
I've
know what,
seen my
Boris?
masters, they've been
Boris,
died.
be quiet.
I'm just saying.
I cast locate object. Casting it.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the mask.
All right. You sense nothing
God damn.
as you gallop forward in the direction of the house.
Here.
And
Zan's
what's
also
next?
going to
We
do
go into a
the
trap.
same thing once we get about 50 or 40 feet from them. He's He's gonna jump off his horse, and with his 40 feet of movement, he's gonna continue just Naruto run. Just
The Ninja Turtles, from the cartoon.
So you guys slap your
my God.
horses. They take off in either direction away from the fighting. You run up closer and you can see these creatures again with like these bodies like frogs standing upright, except they're with the legs and huge claws. These claws have to be like almost 2 feet long.
my goodness.
As they
What are they,
like
like the
stand
tyrants
up.
from Resident Evil? Jesus
They
Christ.
look and you can see these large teeth sticking out. Their eyes, their bodies are red, and they kind of shift down. Their bodies are like this, and their eyes are red as well. And 2 of them turn to look at you, while another one is coming around the other side of the
whichever
horse.
one is closest, Zan is going to make the small symbol with his hand and X the one that is closest to him and give it disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And when he's close enough, he'll fire his bow when he's within 40 or 50 feet.
So I'm actually going to have everybody enter initiative, but we are going to stop here.
Okay.
As you run up,
4. God damn. I have to pee.
Nat 20.
Oh my god,
Nice.
seriously? I'm gonna go like last.
16 for Zan.
alright, so it was Mickey was a 4, Erdnot is a what?
20.
No added? Nothing added?
21.
1, Zan,
16?
and Art.
A strong 7.
Alright, so you all run forward. These things turn to look at you, and well, before that, actually, one of them reaches into, like, through one of the windows of the house, and you hear this, like, loud yell as it, like, reaches in and swipes, and
Did
then
the voice
comes
sound
around,
like the original
like Issa,
voice?
yeah. Yeah, you hear Issa yell out.
It's a penny moment.
And that is where we will leave off as you all run forward
Damn.
towards this home. I will show you a picture
It's
of
funny,
it.
it's like, I'm just like, but it's only 7:30.
I would like for you to actually all to make a perception check.
Everybody?
Yeah, we'll have everybody make one.
14.
Fucking.
Uh,
Maybe I do need to buy more
13.
dice.
I'm gonna make one for Micaiah real quick. I guess. You. She got a 9. You very quickly, as you come up and are about to like let loose your bow, you look on the ground and you can see all these little. You see several little things going like on the ground. Small little worm-like creatures, but you know everything's going so fast. But they're very close to the house, not to you at the moment. So that is where
He sees that?
he sees that. Yes.
I didn't see that with the 13.
Oh, yes. No, you see that too.
Okay.
Tadpole. Yeah.
Ew.
So we will do our giveaway real quick. So thank you everybody who's hung out. You can type. Hold on. You can type hashtag BEADND to enter into tonight's giveaway. We are going to do that real quick. There you go. Fires with Atheline. We've got 5 people so far. Anybody else wants to join in? There we go. Hey, Raging Rolls. Nice to see you too.
Oh, shit.
All the way from Australia.
Australia.
The great down under.
You knew it was going to happen.
Australia.
You can't go anywhere without people doing your accent. Let's see.
I learned the other day that apparently Foster's is not an Australian beer. They don't make it there, they don't drink it there, nothing.
Isn't it like owned by
I think
Budweiser?
it's like a British thing.
Is it?
Foster's.
Oh, Fires of Atheline is going live in 25 minutes.
Oh, shit, okay. That's why. We gotta line up our...
Yeah. Well, I have, we are on Team Rolling together, and they are, Sensei Suplex is live at the moment. We will
Suplex
bring
City.
them a moment. But,
We can put up a sticky note. Anyone who goes to our page, go see Fires of Atheline.
yes, everybody should go to Fires of Atheline in 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I am going. Oh, hey, Bane to TBC. Thank you for entering into the giveaway.
Awesome.
I am going to close this giveaway.
That's awesome.
This, which is this the BD&D giveaway?
BD&D. You will have seen underneath me here that we have our monthly giveaway is our monthly giveaway is from Almost Critical. We are actually doing 2 giveaways this month from Almost Critical.
2.
So please enter using your channel points. Enter as many times as you would like, and there are 2 sets of dice that are currently up for grabs.
Didn't Cat win the last monthly giveaway? Was it Cat? Bearded Fortress?
Cat won. Big Tony T.
Yeah,
is
somebody-
on
I
his
so
way.
want that thing.
Yeah,
What
he's
was
on
it?
his way.
The giant mini,
The
like the
big-
big
Oh,
blue
yeah.
alligator guy.
All right, I'm going to. Ooh, I got to do my bean footage.
Yes, roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, where is it?
This
It
was
is
this
over
purple
here.
dice was a good dice. Because you need to re-roll.
I only have 2 sets of dice. I only have 2 sets.
Doesn't matter. You can still pre-roll.
Oh, I don't want to burn any good karma. I gotta burn the bad karma too. Maybe I'll just buy new dice. Go to almost.
still-
Go to almost critical.
However many dice you got to pre-roll. See these ones? They were a backup. These 3 were good, but this was the best. These 2 were not going to be used today.
All right, and I am going to choose the winner. Picking a winner right now. Okay, here we go. Winner is Fires of
Hey!
Apple.
Holy
Hey!
shit! Look at that.
It's not rigged, we promise.
Not rigged. Not rigged. You can let me know what your choice is. And
Thanks
yeah.
again, Cat.
I know these things
Right,
are so cool.
This is awesome.
Our whole
Thank
table
you.
of gifts.
We
The empty
appreciate
bottle
it.
of mead down there.
I am looking
Have a
forward
dance
to
party.
seeing what you do with Big Tony T. And we are going to raid Sensei Suplex. And we are sorry. Also, we're gonna do our stars and wishes at the end. Wishes and stars. Whatever.
Yes.
We're gonna do that, and I'm gonna record it, and then that will be a Patreon thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go
Along with
patrons.
maybe the.
That is not an
Oh,
arm
what
wrestling
was
gesture.
What are you talking
That is
about?
not an arm wrestling
That's what,
gesture.
That
that's
is
what
not-
we're doing now?
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
the arm
not.
wrestling.
Well, I thought, I thought OnlyFans, they closed all that shit down. Damn, come on.
Yikes.
Actually, no, they reversed. So that when they realized
So-
that's like,
oh, we're back in business.
yeah.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
They were like, oh no, wait a minute. They didn't want to pull a tumbler.
I think
you know?
Sensei Suplex is doing a charity stream today too, so
Oh,
so yeah, we're gonna raid them. Thank you so much. We will
That's
see you next week.
And a
We'll see you
special-
Tuesday.
Yeah, and a
Monday.
very special thank you to Kat for all the awesome
Yes.
stuff that
Oh,
she
yeah.
Awesome
Yeah.
goodies.
Oh my God.
Cheese Cat, thank you
Goodie.
so much. That was really, really cool.
She drank the whole thing.
She did. She slammed that
Done.
down.
I needed this. You don't even understand. I had a very tough week. I'm not gonna go into it, but thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, let's raid. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Raid.
Let's go. Raid.
Right.